It is 6 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer to college football. Tennessee and Virginia will open their 2023 seasons on September 2nd inside Nissan Stadium. It'll be the third time Tennessee has played in a regular season non-conference game at Nissan Stadium, Bowling Green in 2015 and Wyoming in 2002. The Vols last played at Nissan Stadium in the Music City Bowl. Former head football coach and director of athletics Phillip Fulmer will join J-Mart and Ramon at 7:20 this morning. The Titans signed defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker and cornerback Kenneth George. Walker's 5-year career includes stops in Denver and Houston. Meanwhile, George played in 33 games over 4 seasons with the Vols. The Titans also play safety Jamal Carter on injured reserve. Brewers beat the Braves 1-0 yesterday. Atlanta limited to just 2 hits. For foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? Welcome in. J-Mart and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. Up and at 'em on this Tuesday. We won't put an adjective behind it yet to describe it. Could be a turd Tuesday.
Oh.
Could be others. I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet.
Usually how it goes, but hey, who am I to say that it's not going to be one or the other, Jay? And that didn't really answer the question.
No, I don't
That
know what
didn't
that.
really make
I
a
don't know what
statement.
that. I don't know what that means.
It's Lawless Tuesday.
That was a bunch of
Clueless?
words, but I don't know what those mean.
You know what? Use your words, Jay. Use your words. That's what I tell kids.
To
all the
what
time.
end?
You know what? If you're asking for something, specifically use your words. If you're telling somebody something, specifically tell them what you are doing. Also, sometimes though, Jay, we just do.
Oh, okay, I knew that was coming. Celtics Heat tonight,
Yeah.
7:30
Central or Eastern?
Central. Looks like it's like 8:30 Eastern.
Dog it. Who are we really adjusting these times for? The West Coast? Like, are we trying to make sure they get home in time to watch these games or what, Jay? Like,
Apparently, I don't know why you would be starting the Eastern Conference Finals at 8:30 p.m. on a weeknight, but whatever.
who are we waiting for? Like, West Coast, get home. Like, most people in Cali got Teslas anyway. Just put it on auto and just
Problem is the
Nah,
traffic.
I don't want to say that. I wouldn't. Nah, we don't want to put the car in auto and just watch movies. Not that I've ever done that, Jayson. My car isn't equipped like that. Yours?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no screens in mine. No, I really don't.
We got
you can
one
go look
big
at it during the
screen.
break.
You got a big screen up front.
I mean, I've got a
Big
navigation.
display. Yeah, that's a screen.
I guess I'm just saying you can't watch anything on it.
Every monitor is a screen in the car. You can watch something in your car. I'll tell you what, I rode around with Ron one time. This is while I was playing. He was taking us back to the hotel after we were at my house, and he had his friggin' phone on the football game, and I was just like, if you don't pay attention to this road, we might not play a game. We were actually here, as a matter of fact. Like, dude, I love that you got entertainment up front, but please, let's watch the road. I thought he was in the studio for a second. Happy Tuesday, Jay.
Happy Tuesday. Go ahead.
Did you survive yesterday? We need a follow-up.
I survived. She almost called in, though. She
She
said.
did? Oh, Abby, please give us that sound bite.
She actually didn't know. She hadn't been listening, so I had to let her hear last night. She didn't happen to have it on. She's like, if I had been listening, I'd have called in and said, once a week, at least, you set the alarm. And you've got all the beeps, and then you got the beeps, and then you have to unset it. Beeps more because you've forgotten something. Because at least once a week.
So
And I was just like, I don't know about once a week.
You stupid idiot.
so
Then she goes, the other thing.
oh,
She's like, why don't you close the bedroom door when she's in there when you're leaving? And I'm like, well, because, the bungee cord and everything else. And she's just like, you're over here with Velcro and you got the door open.
and we experienced your Velcro yesterday in the green room too. That
It's loud. It's loud.
Velcro on the boot for people that don't know.
It's extremely loud. And she's just like, she gave me a few different pointers. It's kind of what she did.
So basically, you went home with one issue and she just found the right moment to hit you with. When she hit you, and another thing. that would have been the entire.
Then she said, I want to tell him. She's like, you get everything ready the night before. You get your bag ready. You put your protein bars in there and everything else. And you still forget something. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't put my phone in the bag. So if I forget the phone, I said, usually it's like my earpiece for the gym.
Yeah.
And then she started asking me about overcharging devices, and I said, well, that's not a thing anymore.
No.
You can't overcharge devices. She's like, well, I don't know why you charge things overnight. I said, oh, it's not really a problem anymore. It used to be a big problem, but tech has changed, and you don't have to worry about it. Then she's like, well, if you're charging it overnight and it's not in your bag, guess what? I'm like, I know. I forget it.
She's telling you, man, when the night's done, just go ahead, drop it in the travel bag or the backpack, whatever it is, Jay. So what about the times where you brewing something at home? Like, are you super quiet? Like,
no.
Okay.
That doesn't really bother her, and it's not really that loud.
Okay.
There are times I'll wait till she's awake before I do anything, but before work, I do the best I can.
Yeah.
But today I closed the door.
You close the door.
And I put everything in my hat last night that I was going to be walking out the door with.
My hat is on the dining room table, always has my wallet, my keys, my phone, and usually a pair of sunglasses. Or if I need to deposit a check or something, stuff for errands, always in
I had
the
sunglasses,
The hat.
wallet, keys, not my phone because I have my phone under my pillow. I listened to a podcast on like volume 1.
While you sleep?
Yeah. I always have a podcast on. I can't sleep in silence.
Yeah, I usually have podcasts on.
I can't
when
sleep
fall
in
asleep.
silence.
Really?
But Abby likes to sleep in silence. So like I have it under the pillow on a volume of 1 where I can just barely hear it when I'm laying down on the pillow myself.
Oh, for real? That would bother me.
I don't like to wake up in silence.
Nah, I need to hear everything, Jay. Like all of that. Like I used to be a leave a TV on guy. And then I was just like, I want no TV on. I want nothing. Like, I need to be able to hear everything that's going on around the house or something like that.
Well, see, I don't have enough going on around the house right now. Everything's in the room with me, and I can hear it all.
I don't either. But I'm just saying in general, like, the quiet part, I don't know when it switched for me, but it did. It's not like it happened all the time. The TV could be on and just that blue light that just all in your room. They used to be me, and then it just switched. And now I'm like, can't have it at all.
Well, I don't want light.
No.
I don't want light. I want enough sound to know, and it's always something I'm familiar with. It's never anything new. It's something I know that I could somewhat quote sometimes. That helps.
Yeah, I really had no idea that you could go to sleep with the phone underneath the pillow like that. And I'm not saying it's just I never really did that.
Well, I mean, like it's not.
I understand.
I don't have an earpiece in.
You ain't got AirPods.
I do, but I'm not sleeping in AirPods. I'm not sleeping in earpiece. I just have the pillow. I have the phone on the most low volume,
lowest of low.
but you can hear it through the pillow, just barely.
I ain't saying
you
you're
know
wrong.
what's being said, and so it's not that distracting. It just soothes me right out.
It's not thunder or anything like that. It's just.
I've done white noise before.
Have you ever retained anything that you heard in the podcast?
I've
at
had
like
it
2
pop
in the
up
morning?
in a dream.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jay. You got some crazy dreams every once in a while, too.
No, not too much, but like usually it's a wrestling podcast or something like that, something I know. And I'll have a dream that I'm a pro wrestler.
Okay.
I've had that happen a few times. Nothing like severe or anything, but just the subject matter will bleed in.
Will bleed in. Huh. That's different, man. I don't think I could ever do that. I don't say ever do it, but that's just fully different right there.
Do you go to sleep in silence or you go to sleep with something? Wasn't planning that to be the topic, but we'll throw it out there.
No, we'll throw it out there for sure.
Do you need silence? And this isn't about light. I mean, I don't want light. I just want
so you can't
small
do the
bit
TV
of volume
being on.
What I love is when you have a TV that you could just have the audio on.
Yeah.
Back when I was I was an adult. It was after the first time I went to college. I would try to put like a blanket over the TV where I could hear it and not have it on, but it wasn't safe. So I stopped it. I did it like one day, and then it's just like, nah, it's not safe. I can't do it. But you can. There are some where you have a sound bar that'll stay on.
Yeah,
and that's perfect.
Well,
if I can put on like shows I know to loop all night long.
Mm-hmm. Well, by the way, Dark Goof said, Jay, is Abby getting a great Christmas gift this year?
I mean, she was going to get one anyway.
Okay,
she gets the gift of being married to me.
Oh, save that, Shay. We could play that back for Abby.
How deep I gotta dig for you to pipe down?
Yeah.
No, she always gets good stuff.
You
she
can
will
tell.
Again.
You can tell when Abby still asleep. Jay talks his most
asleep.
crap
She was
at
up
6
before
o'clock.
me.
She what?
She got up. She usually gets up at like 4:45 ish.
Okay. But also, Frost also said he sleeps with stuff on at the low volume. Lonzo said he go to sleep listening to Golden Girls. I was on that.
That's
too.
the same thing. Like for me, it was
Hallmark Channel.
For me, it was. I would have tapes that were 8 hours long.
Yeah.
Back when tapes were a thing, and I would tape a bunch of shows. I'd tape a ton of episodes of Seinfeld, ton of episodes of The Simpsons, tons of Law and Order episodes that I liked, like special ones that I liked. I would have tapes designed for that purpose. And now, of course, you've got streaming services where Netflix screws with you and does, are you still watching it? Does it look like I've changed? Did I stop it? But now if I was watching the television, it'd be Peacock and Everybody Loves Raymond probably most every night. Because if I have a chance to nap, oftentimes that's what I'll put on. Episodes I know, Marie's Meatballs or something from season 2, and then I just let it run.
Yeah.
I think I get it from my dad. My dad's always listen to talk radio when he goes to sleep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Never really knew that, Jay. I mean, I get it for sure. I definitely used to go to sleep with like Martin on and stuff like that in college.
Same kind of thing.
And then it flipped off.
I kind of wish it would. I know I can sleep in silence. I just, if I have the option, I don't.
You know what got me? It was football season. Especially when I got into the league, like the business aspect of like the game really just, I couldn't shut off. And then having the TV on and then I'd be up thinking, I ain't gonna lie to you, like film was my biggest thing. Like I had to watch it all the time. I was thinking about it. Like I couldn't shut it off as far as like worrying about the game or practice or the weather, like, especially like during the wintertime when it was like snow before. Still, I could never get adjusted to like snow in Pittsburgh, like at all. Like getting up at 5 a.m. and wondering if the roads are clear. And I got to drive from North Allegheny all the way down to the south side and it's hilly. Safe.
That's a rough drive.
That's so so like the worry of the season. Like, I say it again. The day I retired felt like the world. Whew. So like I think that was probably one of the reasons why I had to sleep in darkness was because like I had to find a way to like log off. You know what I'm saying?
NFL power rankings are out at ESPN.
I synced it.
We can talk about that a little bit. Talk about the conference finals in the NBA, of course.
Deshaun taking a big trip.
Yeah.
The entire offense.
Yeah.
Is Baker going? That's what I want to ask also.
We'll talk about all those things. Plus, Phillip Fulmer is going to join us at 7:20.
Oh, ball coach!
Ramon's excited.
My guy, man.
I was waiting to see if there was more coming.
No, I was just randomly.
I mean, we've talked about having Coach on the show since the show launched.
We have.
So it's exciting that we're doing it today.
Phil Fulmer, Ron Slay. What's the other thing we're doing today?
Oh, Jayson Swain. It is big orange day. It's a big orange Tuesday.
Pow! Are you saying pow? Pow! Pow!
J. Martin and Ramon, stop. To your corners, to your shanties. J. Martin and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. It's the season for love. Nobody knows love like Genesis Diamonds. They're my friends, and they can certainly be yours. Non-commission means they're actually going to teach you what they know. Jeweler like no other. Locally owned, internationally connected, no middleman diamond prices, which means you're always going to get a bigger diamond for your budget. Half carat, 10, 15 carat diamonds, all shapes, all certified, graded by the GIA, so you can buy with total confidence. Again, they're going to teach you everything. They'll teach you the tricks of the trade. They'll teach you how to buy like they buy. You'll learn ways to really maximize that budget. For women, it's the only jeweler around, Genesis is, that carries all the top bridal designers, the big names from New York, LA, premier names, thousands of handcrafted one-of-a-kind rings to choose from. This spring, celebrate your love with help from my friends at Genesis Diamonds, voted best jewelry store and best place to buy an engagement ring every year. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes, Green Hills, and Cool Springs.
Are you saying pow? What are you saying?
Jay Martin and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. Is that you from the last segment?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you.
No, that's from
Okay.
Step Brothers.
That's what I thought.
That wasn't me that time.
It wasn't you any of the time.
Didn't sound like
I
you.
thought it was. Who is that? I thought
Rob
it was.
Riggle.
Oh. Are you saying pow? Pow.
Dude, we had Rob Riggle on Fox years ago in mornings. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Horrible interview.
Horrible interview.
Atrocious. One of the worst interviews I've ever been a part of.
You got to break this down for
That's
me.
not really a thing to break down. He was tired. He was somewhere. He was like Bahamas or something, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh.
He was somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was not dialed into anything. He didn't know how to answer any question. I'm like, dude, are you drunk like right now?
How early was it, Jay? It didn't matter, did it?
I mean, if you're going to do the interview, you're going to do the interview.
Look,
Like,
it's
that's on
like
you.
Traylon Burks on the first aid rookie minicamp. Some days it just ain't your day. I'm not even clowning Traylon. I'm just saying sometimes it just doesn't work. My worst interview was Jeff Garland. It was the worst interview I ever had.
Oh, no.
Wretched.
Way.
And it wasn't Jeff's fault. I was terrible.
Turns out maybe it was Jeff's fault.
Well, he wasn't great, but I'll own my side of that.
Yeah. Worst interview. Have I ever get? I'm sure I've given.
Worst one I did was with a dude from 538. I was so excited early in my career booking this analytics dude from 538. Love 538, sports breakdowns and all. This dude couldn't formulate complete sentences. There's a this dude was pure nerd, like behind the screen talk. It was disastrous,
dry,
horrible,
as the black hole, huh?
It was arid. It was various deserts.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were dunes everywhere. I was just like, man, this is painful, man.
You know what I get very cringy or stuff that is when we have athletes on and they just have the mumble.
Yeah, that's not good either.
And I'd be like, dog, I'm trying to drive these answers out of you.
We know what the worst interview in this show's history was.
Oh my God.
Shoes.
Yeah. That one, I was just like.
That actually led to a change in policy.
It did. I was like, dog, help me help you.
That was not good.
It
that's some
wasn't.
turd stuff right there.
Who was it that we had on also? Questionberries wasn't that great. I'm going to just say it. It wasn't. He
was in the cold.
He was in the cold, but I know the family jewels was freezing to death, but like, come on.
And I love Jim Ross, and he's welcome on this show, but he
JR?
Yeah, he was a little loose-lipped that day.
Yeah, he was a little loose.
He was comfortable.
He was very comfortable.
Yeah.
But is that a bad thing? I'd rather have comfortable.
It's not when it's
with
not
dump button.
egregious. Like with him, he would catch himself.
He would.
Right.
Rashawn just.
I was like, if you drop one more of these words.
Because we were like, what are we supposed to do with this?
We were excited to have him on, and I was just like, well, if it's a gag, then cool. Like, laugh at the end.
Yeah.
I think he was just genuinely like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. Pretty much.
No, he ain't going to be on the show again.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it now.
But the one that got me the most, though, was like Questenberry. I'm like, we're a freaking O-line. Like, most offensive linemen, most, not all, are very
Is he still on the team?
well-spoken. No, he's not.
Okay,
He's
good.
with the coach.
So now we can do it.
Oh, you. I'm a name.
I was just
okay?
like, boom, boom.
No, it was it was just very. It wasn't frustrating. It was just like, yeah, come on, come on, bring the show. Like, you are the show. Like, give people who you are. Like, why say yes if you just
just
truly
say
don't
no.
want to do
Just
it?
don't do it if you don't want to do
I
it.
know they give that option. They gave us that option. It's like, man, nah, I don't really want to do that. That's the thing about it. You have the option, so why come on and sound like a Neanderthal? You know what I'm saying?
Don't get on here and sound like butt.
Yeah, cheeks. Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, that's all it was, man.
Chris is on line one. Chris, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. Man, let's hit this ball straight over to left field, out of nowhere, Tropic Land, USA. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Go.
Man, check it, dude. Mr. J-Mar, you're going to have a little bit more appreciation on this. How bad, how trashy is the WWE product right now? I mean, I hate
unwatchable.
to be that guy, dude, but oh my God. I watched it last night with my son, and, we just turned it on. And the way they introduced Bobby Lashley, they're trying to force feed us this nasty tasting Robitussin wannabe good guy. Literally last year you had to manage this bad guy. I don't know. But anyways, and then the crowd noise, they're pumping this fake crowd noise.
Yeah.
It's dude, you were insulting me so bad. And then all of a sudden, there was reports last night that Sasha Banks and Naomi, they walked out of the show due to the script being so trashy. Don't believe me? Look it up. Vince, you're coming to Nashville, dude. I might buy a ticket just to freaking witness the atrocity you have. But don't get it twisted. I'm also giving Mr. Tony Khan some money because he got it going on. You feel? Did you feel? Do you smell while we cook it? Good day, guys.
Chris. So Questenberry's with the Bills. It's Dennis Kelly, I think, is with the Colts, right?
Yes. Yeah, Kelly's with the Colts. You're right.
To that point that Chris just made, WWE's unwatchable right now.
Is it that bad?
SummerSlam will be a good show because it'll be the best matches, second to third best matches they can do all year long, and it'll be a fun atmosphere. But the product's terrible. The pay-per-view, the live events, premium live events are fine because generally they're just the longer matches, but TV is just, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I even look at it, it's just all right, I'm losing faith in you by the minute. Your company it's making money hand over fist. But the product has never been worse. Because they don't care. Because with the deals they've struck, they're raking in money. So they don't have to care. They don't have to care about the quality. They don't have to care about who they're catering to, anything like that.
Are they TV deal types now? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah,
they are.
That
okay.
and the Saudi deal and all the stuff that they did, they're fine.
Yeah,
money wise, they're flush, beyond belief. But my gosh, it is terrible. It is just terrible television. Eric in Nashville.
That's terrible.
Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, y'all had the discussion about wrestling. I'm sure you may have heard about this. You know that Ric Flair is coming out of retirement. Is supposed to be wrestling here in Nashville. I think it's the day after WrestleMania. Yeah.
So sad.
He's supposed to be in a 6-man tag with FTR against, and allegedly the opponent's going to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Rock and Roll Express. It's come on, Ric Flair, what are you doing this for? You should not wrestle again. And supposedly this is going to be his last match. It's he's 73 years old. And he's going to do this, and I think it's ironic that he's doing it the day after SummerSlam, but it's supposed to be at the fairgrounds. It's just what brilliant mind came up with this. It's just, I'm a big wrestling fan too, but I agree with the last caller. WWE is not as good as it once was, and it's just, and like you said, they don't care. But I just thought that throw that out there. It's just going to be interesting to see what the crowd reaction is going to be, and everybody, I guess. I don't know if anybody's clamoring for that, but it is what it is. Good talk to you guys. Y'all take care.
Yeah, the Flair thing is sad.
Dang.
We just talked about yesterday, can't get out of the spotlight.
Yeah, he admitted it.
But more than anything with him is he's blowing all his money.
Damn.
If you can believe it, he's like Adrian Peterson out here.
He's probably sold his his likeness also. I would say that's what a lot of guys are doing too, just to stay above boat. I know Shaq sold 50% of his, which Shaq's far from broke, but it'd be interesting to see if a bunch of Ric Flair merch is going to start coming out as far as Nature Boy stuff with selling his own likeness. If I'll say this, Vince doesn't own it already though. And that's sad, man.
It really is. Speaking of boats, Deshaun Watson. Taking Browns teammates to the Bahamas to bond after meeting with the NFL. Offensive teammates. Stay out of the massage parlors, all I'm going to say.
Hey.
If he invites you to go, turn that down. Get yourself another Mai Tai. Separate yourself from that flock if you need to.
The one question I have, he says the entire Browns offense is going. And he rented out a football field so they can bond and go. I wonder, are the wives going, girlfriends going? It's just the offensive teammates
It's
going.
apparently just offensive.
That's just the teammates. Baker's still on there, right?
He's not going.
I need this.
He could
universe.
drive it.
I need this world.
He's not an offensive teammate.
I just want to see Baker.
He is an offensive teammate.
Oh, he is offensive, but he has a right to be, though. If you were Baker, and I got almost $19 million coming in regardless of what happens, okay? I have cash coming in. I am still technically a part of the Browns. I am a teammate of Deshaun Watson, and I also play offense. Jay, look at me. The petty side of me wants Baker to go, really just go enjoy himself, get a nice hotel room, and do no offensive reps whatsoever with the team. Yes, that's what we need right there. I need him on the beach with a umbrella drink, just watching everybody go to work and be like, well, you didn't tell me I had to work here. I just needed the free trip. That's all we're looking for, Jay. I need that headline. Baker goes to the Bahamas and enjoys himself. Would you take a free trip? I thought you was gonna do it again.
That's why I didn't.
God, dog, Jay. You're too prideful to take that free trip.
Too prideful about what?
If you're Baker, to take that free trip.
Oh, yeah, you're not going.
I'm taking that trip, Jay. That's all I'm telling you.
You can't do that.
I gotta take that trip. Baker has to go.
He's probably not even been invited, Moan.
All offensive players.
No.
I'm taking that trip like Baker for the love of all things headline
They're going to run
news.
drills and stuff.
Don't invite me if you're going to exclude me.
Well, wait a sec. That doesn't even make sense, Mo.
He said all offensive. It didn't
No,
have.
he said the offense he's going to be with, he's going to work out with.
But they could have packages,
Stop
Jay.
it, Moan. I know you're trying to
Hey,
choose violence. You know better. You know this isn't going to happen.
Jay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yes, Jay. This is the universe that we need, man. Cause more chaos before they kick you out.
This is when you're both at your worst and your best is right now.
Jay, isn't that a world you want to see?
It's a world I want to see, but it's not going to happen.
God, that will be it, man. He needs to be there. And also walk into the huddle like, Deshaun, what are you doing? Like,
You mean like G. Will the other
Yeah, I was
night?
about to say like Grant Williams with the Bucks.
I need that life, man. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, you're right. I'm caught. I want a little violence, okay?
You are so being that sicko GIF right now.
I really
That's what you're being.
You're just throwing stuff out there that's not even possible. Why don't you just talk about Drew
It
Brees
is
coming
possible.
back while you're at it?
No, Drew, that was
Ramon's trying to will this
Done.
into existence.
I really am. If I
You
put
know
this,
it isn't going to happen.
If I put this in the universe, it may happen. Is all I'm telling you.
No.
Can you imagine Baker and Deshaun down there and the cameras that's going to be around and like Baker just sitting off
Yeah,
to the
exactly,
side?
which is why it would not happen.
Baker, yes, Baker sitting off to the side, enjoying a very good Mai Tai, watching his teammates go to work. Because they are still teammates, Jay. I'm taking that trip. 100%.
He's not inviting you.
Jay, don't put an asterisk on me, okay?
I'm not putting an asterisk. I'm saying he's not inviting you. You're not on the list.
Don't make Deshaun the worst person.
You're
Ramon,
trying to.
you have a better chance of being on that
Yeah.
trip than Baker does.
Come on, Shave. Like, don't shoot down my dreams of Baker going down. I pray he goes to the Bahamas with them.
Why would you ever think that would happen?
Just because
He's probably not even in Cleveland.
don't matter. It's a lot of guys not in Cleveland. Would you be there in the offseason too?
I wouldn't be there during the season.
My bad, Martell. Not really, but I'm asking you.
I wouldn't even be. I would be there on game day. Like I would fly in an hour before the game
I'm going
and have my flight 15 minutes after the game is supposed to end.
Jay, if Deshaun is footing the bill,
He's not footing the bill for you.
I'm taking that trip. I don't understand the level of freeloading I would be on if I was Baker Mayfield.
Well, he's not offering. That's the point.
How do
here.
you know he's not offering?
Why would he offer?
Why would he not offer?
Because you're not going to bring that guy.
So you mean to tell me that Deshaun
It's
Watson,
bonding. You're not trying to bond with that guy.
why would he not? Right now, they can't trade him. He's technically a teammate.
He's not on your offense.
Hey,
Tannehill ain't taking Malik Willis to the Bahamas.
he already invited him to his house. So
Not
that's
his
a
house.
liar. Yes, he did invite him to
He's
his
not
house.
taking him on vacation, though.
Yes, Jonas, boats and pros. That's what we're talking about. Baker need to go down there with young Blanco from Indianapolis and friggin' make a music video. I would just prestige worldwide.
Where did Blankenship come from?
Because
in this
I want to
topic?
see a rap video out of Baker down in the Bahamas.
I don't even.
That's a world that I want. Can I not have that world on this Tuesday?
So you're inviting a Colt too?
He's a kicker. I think he's a free agent right now.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think young Blanco got cut.
I don't really pay attention to kickers.
Okay, Urban.
I didn't kick him.
All right, Urban Meyer.
I didn't kick him.
I'm gonna be honest. Most rich guys are freeloaders. Baker is a freeloader to me.
That's
Tell me I'm
fine.
lying.
I'm just
Tell
saying
me-
you still have to be invited to be a freeloader.
Spot the lie.
You have to be invited to be a freeloader.
He said all offensive players.
No, he didn't.
I'm showing up with a carry-on bag, okay? And I'm going to the Bahamas, Deshaun.
He didn't say that, though.
So you wouldn't go.
Again, no, I would not go.
I'm going. All right, that's fine. It's cool. We can agree to disagree on this one then, okay, Jay? I'm going. Okay, don't invite my entire team because it's still mine. Technically, because Deshaun is going to be suspended.
His offensive weapons is who he's inviting.
And
That's a quote.
Baker doesn't wake up feeling dangerous.
He's not a weapon of Deshaun Watson's.
That's the problem right there.
He's not a tight end. He's not a wide receiver. He's not a running back.
So he's not inviting the offensive lineman?
He may not.
Well, in that case, Baker definitely needs to go.
Jack Conklin's pissed.
That's jacked up right there. That is entirely messed up.
Maybe the O-line, except who are you blocking?
It don't
sand?
matter. If he wants to not be on his back the entire year, he needs to bring that old line with him, Jayson.
Maybe you can do that separately.
There is no separate. Don't see. That's the problem right there. You're part of the problem right here, Jay. You want to see? You laugh, but it's funny. Everybody always thinks the offensive line is a second-rate friggin' group, and we're not. Okay, we're not. And you are the problem. That the public perception is we just block, and we supposed to protect the quarterback. No, we like perks also, Jayson.
is
We
about
want
perks.
free trips too.
It's about if you're traveling with the offensive.
What if there's a tackle
weapons.
eligible? Kendall Lamb, we saw him catch a touchdown with the friggin' Browns. Come on now. Right here in this city, we saw that.
Maybe they are going to invite the offensive line, but he says offensive weapons. That's what the source is saying.
Sean need all the right PR he can get right now, Jayson, and this is right on par for what he
then
needs
leave
to
the
be
O-line
doing.
at home.
Which
No
car you
camera
drive
wants
today?
to follow an offensive lineman.
Which car you drive today?
Mine?
It's time to get a tow truck. Damn. Oh. Don't disrespect the offensive line, Jayson.
I'm not disrespecting y'all.
Don't disrespect Baker. Okay?
You have for the last 15 minutes.
Baker's going on this trip, and I need to see him with a bandana on his head and a Mai Tai.
He's not on the trip.
And Buck Rising's bad B vibes is all I need from him, okay? That's that on that, Jayson. I'm telling you. I'll bet you $5 Baker's going.
Well, we successfully killed this segment.
I'll tell you what drink I won from that $5 from Starbucks.
Baker's going.
He's not going.
And the offensive line going.
Offensive line might. Baker ain't.
You said we weren't earlier because
I
you
was
were a
kidding.
hater of offensive line.
No, it's because you're in here and I was talking crap to you.
If we are going to do this today, I'm getting the last word. Schaefer, let's go to the break. It's Window Nation graduation sale, Jayson. And Baker Mayfield.
He's not going. He's not going.
I'm telling you, he's looking out his window
He's
right
not
now at the
being
Browns
invited.
facility, which might be Window Nation windows, okay? Well, let me tell you this. If your old windows or teammates are failing at their new job or just not making it great, here's your homework assignment. Call Window Nation and get to the head of the class with 0% financing for 5 full years, Jayson. That's how long Baker Mayfield has been in Cleveland, by the way. 60 months and get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. All right? Because why, Jason? It's about to get hot in this city. It's getting hot in here. Okay? And with that being the case, you would hate to be losing money because your windows are losing energy inside your house.
So he's really only been there for 4 years. So actually, the no interest at Window Nation is still a year longer than Baker's time in Cleveland. Weather impacts your windows, hot days, cold nights. That can cause caulk to crack, seal failures, condensation. That's why Window Nation makes sure to use top-of-the-line materials like Mold Spray and Quad Max Sealant because they're toughest against all weather conditions. You know how hot it's about to be the rest of this week, especially when you get to Thursday and Friday. I'm talking supremely hot. If you have drafty windows or if you have non-sealed windows, you are going to be spending twice as much potentially to keep your house. On average, about 30 to 40% more on energy costs if your windows aren't right. So let Window Nation take a look. Now's the best time with this offer. 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. No interest for 5 full years. Again, 2 free windows every 2 you buy. No interest for 5 full years. That's, again, another year past Baker's current standing in Cleveland. 60 months interest-free. Save thousands. Savings you'll only see once this year. How do you take advantage, Ramon?
You got to call them at 866-90-NATION.
Or you can hit windownation.com. What's that phone number again?
866-90-NATION.
Or again, windownation.com. Make sure when you talk to them, tell them Jay Martin or Ramon said ya. Phillip Fulmer, 720 this morning. Jayson Swain, Ryan Slay as well today. That's actually working pretty well. That guy sounds like he's part of the show. Jack Nicklaus said they offered him $100 million to be the face of the Saudi League.
What?
And he turned it down.
Integrity? Or you just already got a boatload of cash anyway?
I mean, you got both, but he helped start the PGA Tour. He's like, guys, I got to stay with the PGA. Okay. Plus, you know, you are kind of not the best people.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also that.
All right.
Phil pulled out of the PGA Championship after winning it last year. One of the best stories in sports a year ago. Now, never heard of him.
Phil, why Phil decides to side with him so much? Because he's such a gambling degenerate?
I mean, it's probably as simple as money.
Simple as money? That's why I never thought we'd see anybody go up against the PGA. I never forever thought anything would take a shot at the PGA. Like, have they been that bad PR-wise as far as players, or it's just...
I mean, PGA point blank said all of our players are banned from joining this league.
So Phil pulled out of the PGA, like gave up his membership or what? I
think so.
Dang, that's cold right there. That's a strong stance to make. But Phil's always kind of, rocked his own boat anyway, hasn't he?
He's always kind of on the verge. He's had some questionable business stuff in the past.
Questionable. Like Martha Stewart questionable, or it's very close? Dang. Phil. They always say he's a good time, right? Everybody says Phil is a good time when it comes down to life and just enjoying it. So,
look, he loves his family and
loves a good time.
Everything else, yeah.
Just only way to really put that one, huh, Jay?
Also loves a little action on the game.
Maybe Deshaun can invite him since he's not inviting Baker.
Oh, so you just going to invite Phil Mickelson, but not really Baker Mayfield, his own teammate?
That's right, because he's not his teammate.
He's
no one's teammate.
Really? That man is on the Cleveland Browns website
His
right
playbook has been returned.
Jason Aloysius Martin, you're going to invite Phil, who's just going to gamble and take all those players' money, but you don't want Baker, who's going to be a good time in the Bahamas.
You really think it's going to be a good time?
Baker? Heck yeah. They actually like
whoever
Baker.
Deshaun talks to, he's going to go behind him and be like, you really would rather talk to me.
No, he wouldn't. Deshaun can't have that right now. I'm telling you, he's got that case pending with the NFL as far as suspension. He needs Baker there. Who's going to play quarterback without Deshaun being in the building?
Who's the other person there that will be, because it won't be him?
Our guy Dobbs is there.
Dobbs.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, that's it. That's who it'll be.
Can we not have this, Jason?
No, you can't. Baker's not going to be a part of the Browns.
How are there supposed to be off seasons 5-time champ if they don't have Baker in friggin' the Bahamas?
If he was required to send everybody, like if the team was like, all right, you got to take everybody on the offense, then he would request that Baker be dropped first.
You honestly think that Deshaun is like, hey, everybody can go, just don't tell Baker? You really, like when Baker shows up with his carry-on to go to the Bahamas because he's going to buy clothes while down in the Bahamas. He's only carrying a toiletry bag and a carry-on full of things that he likes to do. He's going to get to the plane and tell Baker, this flight's not for you.
Hey, I'm over here, guys. Hey, I'm ready for the trip. Hey, I'm over here.
Yeah, and you will see that propeller plane taking off, and he'll still be there.
Hey, what about me? I'm on the team.
Hey, put him underneath the storage or something. Like, seriously, Baker deserves to be there. You know how many games he's won for the Browns in his recent time there?
I don't know, 12.
No, he's made them more relevant than any quarterback on that long list of quarterbacks.
That's right, which is another good reason why Deshaun don't want him anywhere near him.
Jay, that man wakes up and feels he got a statue at Oklahoma now. Okay?
That says a lot.
It does say a lot. That shows his importance to not just the Browns, but football in general.
No, it just shows his importance to Oklahoma.
I'm taking Baker.
I don't know why he has a
statue. Did he pay for the statue?
Did he actually pay for it?
I'm asking. I don't know.
Most of the time, I found that out,
Did
too,
he
by the
make
way.
a financial contribution that led to a statue being made?
People who get their Hollywood stars, they actually pay for them, too. I say actually 2 times right there. Johnny 2 times. What was his name in Goodfellas? What was his name?
Johnny No Neck.
Johnny No Neck and Jimmy 2 times.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Love me 2 times.
Love me 2
You've
times.
gone away.
I don't know.
He doesn't know that reference.
Yep.
It's the Doors, man.
It's Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison, the basketball player.
That's Adam
That's
Morrison.
Adam.
I knew that.
Do you know who Jim Morrison is, man?
Yeah, from the Doors.
I hate you.
He gave me the answer. Why would I not repeat the answer right there, Jay? Why
I gotta
would
admit, that one was your fault, Jay. You walked into that.
When I said I hate you, I meant me. I meant I hate me. I hate you. I say it to myself all the time on the way in. I hate you.
You gave me the
Give
answer.
me one Doors song,
I
man.
mean, a fool. I hate me.
That's not a Doors song.
The Doors. The Door.
The Door.
Most bands usually have a self-titled song.
go back to bedroll.
This
Come on,
hour
Shay.
of
No,
this
man.
show.
This coffee's
my
hitting right now. That's all I'm telling you. I am up.
What coffee is
Up.
that?
D's.
That didn't work.
Are you
That
kidding
didn't work
me?
at all. That didn't work at all. Come on.
All right.
I literally almost
Come
had to be
on.
dumped. Because I said, "Are you kidding me?" And there was a word before kidding.
Moan.
I don't like to use
Jay,
it.
my bad. That was on me right there. Jay, I don't know any song by the Doors. I'll be completely honest.
Okay,
with you.
second hour's coming up.
A whole lot more.
Phillip
professional.
Fulmer's coming up in 25 minutes. If we make it there. It's Jay Martin Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. That's the show. Are your appliances needing repairs? Oh, man, we're having too much fun. Lee Company can help with that. From popular brands to elite labels, Lee Company offers expert home appliance troubleshooting, warranty work, and repair services. You can depend on Lee Company for on-time arrivals, on-the-spot repair quotes from highly trained, certified friendly.
Oh, get through the read, Jay. Come on. This is live. Get through the read, Jay. Do you want to start from the top again?
Man, I just love Lee Company.
All right.
I
Let's
really
go. Let's
do.
go from the top. All right. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Are your appliances needing repairs? You probably don't know that they can actually do this. Refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, range, freezer, ice maker, washing machine, and dryer. On-time arrivals, on-the-spot repair quotes from highly trained, certified, friendly technicians, popular brands to elite labels. This is expert appliance troubleshooting and warranty work. They can do all sorts of things for you. This is a lot of stuff's probably on the honey-do list. You can get it knocked off, not have to do anything. Call Lee Company today. It's a really cool service to take advantage of. 615-567-1000. That's 567-1000, or go to leecompany.com and book an appliance service call today.
7:02. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer. Tennessee and Virginia will open up their 2023 college football seasons on September 2nd inside Nissan Stadium. It'll be the third time Tennessee has played in a regular season non-conference game at Nissan. Bowling Green in 2015, Wyoming back in 2002. Vols last played at Nissan in the Music City Bowl. We're not going to talk about how that ended. Former head football coach and director of athletics for Tennessee, Phillip Fulmer, will join J-Mart and Ramon coming up in about 20 minutes. Titans signed defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker and cornerback Kenneth George. Walker's 5-year career includes stops in Denver and Houston. Meanwhile, George played in 33 games over 4 seasons with the Vols. The Titans play safety Jamal Carter on injured reserve. NBA playoffs resume tonight. Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics at Heat. 7:30 will be the tip for that. And in the NHL, we'll have one game in the East and one game in the West. Lightning at the Panthers, 6 o'clock will be the face-off. Blues at Avs with an 8:30 start. Brewers beat the Braves yesterday 1-0. Atlanta limited to just 2 hits. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Well, looky there. Patrick Beverly is back on TV.
Yeah, he was the talk of the town yesterday. He was the big conversation as far as the slander he had for CP3.
Yep.
He called that man a cone.
I went back and watched it yesterday. When he's like, y'all can give James Harden shade. You can give Paul George shade.
Yeah.
He's like, we can give CP3 some.
He said, give him that Ben Simmons treatment.
They don't like each other either, so that helps. Like, Beverly is actually out there Steve Smith in it. Just anybody that's slighted him or anybody he doesn't like, and he's got a long list.
What does CP3 say? Like, does he call him? Is it on site when he see him type situation or what?
I think he just maybe he sees him on the floor and nut taps him.
He's known for that.
But that time it's not from rage. He just walks straight over to him, shakes his hand with one, and then the other one, pow.
He was like, I owed you that one. He really was on one yesterday. Is that good enough to get him a job, though, Jay? Like, is that what they're looking for?
If he wants it, yeah.
You think he's set in stone? Well, he's set as he want to be if he takes it.
Yeah, I mean, he may still be playing basketball for a couple more years,
yeah.
but he's setting the stage for what he's going to do afterwards.
Pat Bev got a few in him. That's one thing he does. He will get his defense up, and that's a huge thing for guys that got a specific skill, and here's his defense and been an agitator. Mm-hmm. So ESPN is definitely going to – if Draymond got a deal already to host while playing, then, yeah, Pat Bev's definitely going to get it. And what are you I think which one of y'all mentioned it yesterday. This is the time of year that ESPN does this car wash of new talent. Ron said he sounded like a clown. Oh, I can't wait till Savage come in and we talk about this then. It was entertainment factor, I thought.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
solid.
it. I mean, it's very obvious he's waging some of his personal battles because he has a bunch of enemies. That's just the way he plays. And so he had a shot on TV to do it and did it.
And he did it.
But he did make some interesting points as well. And, of course, now, and it's like with him and Reddick, who played together, Reddick's coming at it from a little bit more of I've been doing this media thing now and podcasts for years.
A little bit more savvy.
Yeah, less that than just I know how to play this game from a different perspective than you do, so it actually plays well to my strengths to just be me and you be way off the beaten path the way Bev is, and I think that sets you up well. They're not the same guy. Problem is you just got Greenberg in the middle of it.
Greenberg
it's
leave
just
it alone.
wallpaper, so you can put anybody there. Actually, today it's Ryan Smith.
Who's Ryan Smith?
Who's, by the way, just as good as Greenberg is.
You mean in a good way or just like they could do without him?
I think Ryan Smith's pretty good. I'm just saying there's nothing special about Mike Greenberg at this point in time in terms of like that show has become successful. The Get Up show's become successful. It's not because of the host.
He basically created a show that's going to be successful that's going to lead to him being out on his next contract.
You think for real?
Yeah, because if anybody can do that and you get a similar number, why are you going to pay that much money?
Well, that's also one of the.
That's the old Colin Cowherd deal. You don't think they're going to find somebody that you can pay a third to do what I do?
And I have no problem with Greenberg. And look, and
I
I'm
don't
not saying
either.
that's going to happen.
Right, for sure.
I could see that happening.
Well, I mean, this is what also happens in business, right? And I'll say this too: the way he kind of backdoored his old show co-host or whatever, and did this, and now it comes full circle.
Because he got a big money deal.
Yeah, he did.
And they're eventually going to look at the ratings and see the fill-in host there, and they're going to do the kid with the cookie gif and be like,
yeah.
I mean,
they'll make a
Greenberg's
decision.
open to host game shows and stuff like that too.
Is that what he's trying to do also?
Oh, he was being looked at for a lot of that stuff. So, I mean, he's going to be fine. It's just, is he going to be on that show?
Is it
Because
gonna be-
they don't necessarily need him on that show.
Because that's his baby. Huh. That's interesting.
They
I don't
paid
know.
a ton of money for that show, and it was a disaster out of the gates. It was horrible early. It's become a lot better, but it was bad off the start.
This
Really
is
bad.
compete with Skip.
No, because they weren't on against each other. Skip's show starts at 8:30.
Does it? I never even called Skip.
Skip
show.
is against First Take. That's the point of that show.
Okay, for sure.
And they start a half hour before First Take, so they get the jump on them. Same way that Fox used to do with Arsenio starting at 11 when you had Carson and Letterman starting 11:30, or in that point, I guess you had Carson starting at 11:30. You want to get the jump on NBC's audience by starting in a half hour. It's like we've got interviews by the time they get to the monologue.
Why were they starting shows that late then, the late nights? How late are late nights now? 9 o'clock?
No, late nights are still.
It's still 10?
It's 10:30.
Central.
Yeah, it's after local news, Mo. That's why.
Oh.
Because you got a primetime lineup until 11.
Were the ratings crazy
Eastern.
for like Arsenio and the rest of the gang?
They were decent. I mean, they were pretty good. I mean, that audience back in the day, late night talk shows were huge because you didn't have access to celebrities 24/7, 365. I don't need to watch any of that stuff now.
Okay.
Because if you're a social media type, you can get everything from the source directly or whatever it is that they release on their social media platform. You've got access to so much stuff, so much more stuff. You're not like stuck in that same rut where you have to watch people on couches talk.
Yeah. Well, dang.
It's just not as essential as it once was.
I never paid attention to how late it came on, like Arsenio. Like, it was a party, but there was all those also West Coast broadcast.
Fox didn't have local news
They
at the
didn't.
time.
This is all news to me.
So you could start it at 11 because, well, do you want to watch local news or do you want to be entertained now? Are you waiting through the local news to get to this or are you actually watching the local news? And you had some that would do both, but Fox was able to get him on earlier, which helped build his audience a little bit because if you were coming straight off of some drama or a comedy or whatever, you got to go straight to Arsenio, straight to his open, straight to his monologue, and avoid whatever stories were on the local news that you probably already knew from 6 o'clock.
Ah, okay, for sure. I had no idea, but everything has grown that way, though. The business of the NFL, college sports, all sports are that. ESPN was a baby in the beginning, though, right? Almost failed also, right?
Yeah, many things do.
Yeah.
You have to have patience.
ESPN survived for as long as it did before it started making money because Getty Oil owned the company.
Getty Oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually who owned the company for a long time, and they hemorrhaged losses. And what the executives basically told Getty Oil, look, keep digging.
Keep digging.
Keep digging, you will eventually hit oil.
What?
Yeah, it's all documented.
Dang. That's pretty doggone cool right there, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Keep digging.
Keep digging. Guess that's what the Cleveland Browns do for quarterbacks.
What? Seriously?
That just came. I mean,
That's
I
how
don't
you're doing
know.
that?
Y'all know me by now.
That was just
You
slanderous.
know I'm just going to take whatever shots I can.
That was just no.
Y'all know me by now.
Come on.
No, baby.
No, baby.
All right, well, if you say so, I'll be an adult now. Okay, let's do this.
You only
1
have
hour.
to be an adult in the next segment. Everything else you can be ratchet. Next segment you got to be an adult.
So we'll talk about this a little bit later, but so they did the power rankings at ESPN. Now, an hour ago, they've done season projections 2022, win-loss records, playoff, and Super Bowl chances from the FPI, which is ESPN's Football Power Index. So you say whatever you want on that. The Titans 2022 NFL FPI ranking is 17th.
That's fair. I mean, I got some stuff to work out.
I mean, I don't. It's fair because I don't know what the FPI even is.
Yeah, me either.
And I don't know what it means. Matter of fact, I know it doesn't mean anything. It's just another deal. The power ranking, they had him 11th.
Which ain't bad. I don't think
11's probably about fair, I would say. Somewhere in there.
so.
One thing I did find interesting was Tehran, all the NFL Nation wrote their piece. Tehran says Robert Woods is number 1 wide receiver.
Here right now, TD said
he will get the lion's share of targets from Tannehill. He mentions Burks in the last sentence, but it's more about Robert Woods.
I'm wondering if Robert was wide receiver 1 anyway before AJ was traded.
Oh wow, for real? Mm-hmm. I mean, AJ had the hearts of this Titans fan base.
I don't wonder that. I think if AJ was here, he was wide receiver 1.
At least publicly, Shafe, he was going to be numero uno.
I had never thought that I always thought he was brought in to be the 2.
I did too. That was my mindset. But now having a veteran that's played the way Robert Wood has, also he's got videos he's posting with his ACL as far as his recovery. Looks pretty good.
Well, can we also say, though, real quickly, that the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 is much more interchangeable than it's ever been?
Yeah, it is.
Nowadays?
Yeah, so it doesn't we say that, but it's more of a token
I just wonder
gesture.
if the team is trying to message Robert Woods as wide receiver 1. I'm not saying they're using Tehran to do it. I'm saying that would take some of the pressure off of Traylon Burks. If you threw Robert Woods out and saying he's actually going to be wide receiver.
Let's say this too, by the way, as far as last year goes for him when he was with the Rams, he was trying to get more targets up.
Yeah, he was.
He gets it now.
We'll come back. Phillip Fulmer will join us on the other side. Moan, this is where we stop talking about Baker and planes and boats. All right?
Yeah.
You with me here? I don't trust you with that look. It's Jay Martin, Ramon, Phillip Fulmer, ball coach next here on the Zone. Wet basement or crawl space means you are past time when it comes to calling United Structural Systems. Today is the day to do it. Over 25 years, over 23,000 satisfied residential customers, the go-to company for this kind of stuff. Foundation repair, waterproofing. It's the only phone call you can place. It's the only one you should place. I'll go ahead and tell you what it is right off the start, 615-227-2275. But if you've got a wet basement or crawl space, that means problems down the road, water intrusion and moisture. So you've got to get this fixed. If it's poor drainage, if it's a plumbing leak, if it's something different, whatever it is, you need an expert to be able to diagnose it. And maybe it's not as serious as you think. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So you need a company you can trust to tell you what's actually happening, and that is United Structural Systems. They'll come out and give you a free estimate, tell you exactly what the situation entails, and they'll tell you how they're planning to fix it. Then if there is an issue, and sometimes there's not, you get to make the call, and they get to work. They finish the job before you ever have to pay a cent. And that's about all you can ask for, right? Like, you're going to be satisfied before you have to do anything. So call for that free estimate. Find out how much it's going to cost to fix from the people I trust. Here's the telephone number, 615-227-2275. Again, 227-2275 or online at ussTN.com. United Structural Systems. Welcome back, Jay, Martin, and Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. All Four Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville, making it possible. 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. Based on Ramon talking today, it's about 3 hours too much each day.
You know what?
11-year NFL veteran and Vol for life. Ramon Foster is here. Jonathan Schaefer's here. I'm Jayson Martin at Ramon Foster at Schaefer on Sports at J-Mart Radio at J-Mart and Ramon. To the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Do we need some long-winded introduction with a bunch of stuff, or do we just say Phillip Fulmer's on the line? I think that's enough.
That's enough.
How are you, Mr. Fulmer? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm good. I love Ramon used to say that about practice. It's about 3 hours too long. So
when the days of true two-a-days, when we go to the baseball field.
God.
Oh, yes, indeed, Coach.
I hated that when I was a player, so I sure hated it when I was a coach. So. But it was necessary, I think, right?
It was. It crafted some good teams and some good moments also, I think, Coach.
No, it did.
So how many bad stories do you have about Ramon Foster to share? That's really all I want to talk about today.
We use up all of our time this not bad as in bad, not that, but not as doing something you shouldn't be doing, but just a lot of good stories. He knows this. I was fond of the offensive linemen, and we always had good lines, and I hung around him as a head coach a lot more than probably most head coaches would have. So anyway.
Yes, indeed, Coach. I always tell the story when I first got to UT. I'll never forget. I had like a couple MEs in practice, and I'll never forget. I think you were down there, as you just said, watching the offensive line, and I think it was the year I was supposed to play when Cody Douglas went out, and I actually started that game, and I messed up in practice of the Florida practice, and you said take off. And I'll never forget running around the fields. And by the third time I got around, Paris Harrelson, God rest his soul, man, was like, hey, Foster, how many did he tell you to run? I was like, he didn't give me a number. He's like, oh, I never heard him not give a number.
It's a little attention getter. It's all. Thank you guys for having me on this morning. This is great to talk about Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. And some good stories. Super.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that here in 1 second. Just as you're watching kind of from your view now, and some of these things are put in motion while you were in your role, when you just look at the football program with Heupel, you look at what Vitello's doing, you look at Barnes and what's happening on the women's side as well, the state of Tennessee athletics today, it has to put a smile on your face.
No, it's super. I mean, it's wonderful to see that all of our sports, spring and fall are competing at the highest level, and kids are graduating, and there's certainly a lot of challenges in front of college athletics, but Tennessee right now, as you said, can have a smile on its face for all that we're doing. And I love Josh. He and I've gotten to know each other pretty well, and he's a down to earth, good guy. He knows he likes kids. Kids like him. Those are really important things. He can recruit, and he obviously can coach. So I look forward to the future being very bright. And Danny White and I have met several times actually, and he's really great at his job. So I think we helped a little bit put some of the pieces together, for the last couple of years of my time there. That last year with the COVID and everything else that was going on was a tough year, but the first couple of years were very productive of getting everybody working together. So I think Tennessee athletics is in a great place right now.
I think that's a huge point to be made too, Coach, because during our time there, it was always between you, Coach Pat, and just all the other sports that were involved in it. You mentioned something, everybody working together. I felt like the campus had a buzz about itself when everything's going well, and that's always easy to do because winning cures all. But now seeing that come around again, Coach, the way the coaches communicate, the way the team support each other also is what we also had during our time. That's got to also put a smile on your face to actually see that connection between one and the other, the way social media kind of takes away the personal side of everything.
I saw that before I left. I mean, I think, there was some silos that had been created just because of, and it's natural, all the change that had happened over and over and over, and so people on campus administratively and athletics weren't communicating. People in the departments weren't communicating. I put 4 pillars in that I thought really were important at the time, communication, trust, warmth. Those are things. Warmth, that means I care about you. What happens to you and your family, and obviously the last one was intensity. And you could put those in any order you want to, but if you do those things, communicate and trust each other and work hard together and show warmth to each other, it can be done. So I think we got it off to a pretty good start, and they've just run with it now. And there's lots of financial challenges ahead in college athletics all over the country, with everything that's going on.
Right.
As to how that'll shake out. But I'm really proud. I was with Josh the other night at a function up in Sevierville, and he's just a really good guy that wants to do well. So I like that. He's not full of himself.
So when you mention financial challenges, we know what you're talking about. As we talk about it daily, about NIL and everything else that's going on. As you watch all of this, is this a world you would want to be in as a coach? Because it does seem like there's a lot more to this job now than coaching football.
No, I wouldn't want to be in it, right now, honestly. Ramon just mentioned that I told him to take off running. Well, heck, they might take off running straight to the portal. And so you don't make the point, that making mistakes is not important, and is not making mistakes is important. So the money, I just can't. Something has to change eventually. I mean, it's not sustainable. You get some 5-star guy that you paid a bunch of money to, and he comes in, he's injured, or he doesn't pan out. About half of those guys really pan out or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the guy's not going to do. The owners are probably not going to put money back in it the next year. I mean, it's just anywhere. So it's just it's a tough road to go. But here's the other part of this, and nobody has the answer yet. But it is the law that you can do that, and if you don't, you're going to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody should be out there trying to figure this out and recruiting. What we spent 150 years of college football trying not to do, and now it's. I've heard it over and over. Wild, Wild West. Whatever you think you can make happen. So, kind of tough, really. And I don't know, Ramon. You'd appreciate this. What happens in the locker room? And I know I've heard I've talked to a couple coaches that their best players have left. Because you couldn't get them at the smaller schools. Because you can't give them enough money. And you spent 3 years recruiting him and developing him, and now he's ready to be a good player, and he's playing for somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the business model. It's kind of what happens in business. Everybody gets bought up, but I don't know. I like the amateur part of things. So I'm working with a firm there in Nashville actually that is part of it's called a ALC, Athlete Licensing Company, and as an advisor basically, but we're trying to be transparent, make things transparent, and be kind of the back office. So a kid or a group, a collective or whatever, somebody's got to pay taxes, right? Somebody's got to pay the branding company. Somebody's got, make sure that you're showing up where you're supposed to show up, those kinds of things. So I'm pretty deep in it from that standpoint, but I want to do it from the right way, not on the other end where you're using inducements, basically.
Mm-hmm. Coach, one thing we saw in the SEC, I know during our tenure, it wasn't necessarily the end goal for it as far as offenses just being all the way at the top. We've seen some powerful offenses, even Tennessee's, to the point that the scoring is to a premium, and defenses have kind of taken a little bit of a back seat when it comes down to winning games, except Georgia had a really good defense this year. And, Bama always kind of brings the bucket, their hat to the ball game too. But just in general, you ever imagine the SEC getting down to this type of high-powered offenses where defenses have to just manage winning games?
Well, Ramon, it goes in cycles. You know, there was a run and shoot way back when everybody thought that was the greatest, and then you had the wishbone and the veer and, you know, one back offenses, and it just evolves. Offensive evolves off of what defenses do, basically. And you've got to find a way. But the truth of it is you still got to block and tackle, you know, and tackling has become so much more difficult because you're having to tackle in space all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great athlete is going to get beat in space sometimes by another great athlete. So now it comes down to recruiting, you know, those skilled guys and quarterbacks and those kinds of things. So will it evolve back around? I don't know, but I would tell you all these coaches that are doing the run or the, you know, the wide open offenses, they still want to be able to run the football.
Yeah.
When they can, you know, and they probably like for you to spread out with them so they could run the ball. And then now the pressure's on the defense. What are you going to do? Which poison do you want to take? So,
Coach,
it's interesting.
Coach, in your time speaking with him and watching him, what's the most impressive thing that you have come to know about Josh Heupel?
Well, I just think he's a great guy, and he's focused. He's smart. You know, he knows that recruiting is the lifeblood of getting it done. You know, he likes to, you know, to call plays and do all those things. But in the end, that's only going to be the result's only going to be who's catching the ball or running the ball,
Right.
You know, and who's blocking up front. Or, you know, Ramon mentioned defensively, we have so far to go. You know, although at times we played pretty well, but we had so far to go last year to be a respectable defense. So, but anyway, I answer your question. I think he's a great guy, and he's smart, and he's tough enough on the kids. But you know, they like him, and he has no BS about him. I mean, if there was a couple of kids that maybe he inherited that weren't quite buying into the program, it was, you know, see you later, you know, kind of thing. So I like that.
Coach, the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament coming up June 6th. I know you're working with Brad Willis as far as, you know, being an ambassador towards this. It'll be the banquet will be here in Nashville Saturday, July 23rd. You want to speak more on that and why your involvement in it is more important for this state and for the event also?
Yeah, Brad Willis, as our director of the Hall of Fame, has just done a fantastic job, and with support from the Tourism Bureau and everybody. But the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame is, I think, a really important thing for our state. It connects us all through the, you know, East, Middle, and West Tennessee, and people are recognized that have done great things in athletics, but also great things in the community. And it's important to recognize those coaches and administrators and business leaders that have done well. We are starting back the golf tournament after COVID and everything, kind of, and really we stopped even before that for a bit. It'll be at Vanderbilt Legends Club at 1:00. What is it? The 6th, I think. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just going off the top of my head. Yep. And $750 and $100,000 if you want to play with a celebrity. And I'd hope people would, you know, sign up and come out and have a you know, fun time. There's going to be a bunch of guys there. And then the banquet on July the 23rd is our largest fundraiser. It's at 6:00 at the Omni Hotel, downtown Nashville, and people, you know, can come out and buy tickets or tables and help support the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. We've got a great list of people going in this year because we're recognizing 3 classes because of COVID, and we talk back and forth, you know, but we wanted to be fair to the 20 and 21 class that they, you know, got acknowledged as well. So I promise you it won't be a 4-hour banquet, but it won't be a 3-hour banquet, and I hope it's not a 2-hour banquet because we're going to move it along. But I'd like for everybody to come back. Got some great Tennessee guys going in. Harry Galbraith, who was one of my absolute favorite guys as to coach and as a person. And Ramon, we could tell Harry Galbraith stories from now to next week, and just a wonderful young man. And of course, Heath Schuler and Todd Helton, and I'm again doing this off the top of my head, Shamika Barksdale, Nikki McCray, Tony White, leading scorer in the SEC in his senior year, Reggie Johnson, great player, great basketball player. So lots and lots of young people and people being recognized from all walks of life, and that's important to remember. It's we have we've celebrated fishermen and skeet shooters and just all kinds of sports. Some handicapped folks that have done really well in sports as announcers and stuff. So it's not limited just to the Heath Schulers of the world or Peyton Manning's of the world. It's a wonderful, fun banquet that will move along, and we hope people come out.
Yeah, it's funny. A few years ago at the Omni, at the induction, actually, where Peyton was headlined, Charles Davis and a bunch of people, my wife and I were there, and my wife took a photo with you, and I've seen her happy. Like, I saw her on the wedding day photos. Those are really happy days. And the day that my daughter was born a year ago, super happy. I'm not sure, but the photo of you and her, I'm not so sure that that's the happiest I've ever seen her.
She loves you, Coach.
You have to come and we'll get another one.
Hey. You looked happy in that photo too, so it was a good moment. Real quick as we let you go, Ramon Foster slanders Dave Clawson on this show relentlessly because of the offense that he ran. Mon, please, I need to have this adjudicated before we let Phillip Fulmer go.
No, that's probably an off the phone conversation with Coach. Just know they were calling our plays before we knew it, but it's all good, Coach. We got through it.
And he's gone on and done exceptionally well, and it was a time. Most of the time we were so much on the same page, and everybody working, exactly together. And there was some dynamics there that just didn't work, and even now I wonder, what all those things happen. And there was some, like, probably everybody, including me, that was responsible for that. So another time, Ramon, get off of it. It's over.
I'll invite you to the back porch, Coach. I know you're a cigar person. I got some real good bourbon at the house too. We'll talk. We'll hash that out one day, Coach.
All right. We'll hash it out. That'll be attaboy.
Coach, we appreciate the time. We're going to reset all that information here in just a second, but thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you here a little bit later this summer.
Ramon, I love you.
you
Jayson,
too,
thank you. Appreciate you. Take care.
Indeed. That's Coach Fulmer. So the golf tournament presented by the Tennessee Lottery, Monday, June the 6th, 1 p.m. Vanderbilt Legends Club in Franklin. It's $750 for a team, $1,000 for a team with a celebrity fifth player. That'll be fun. Pre- and post-round meals provided. Every player is going to receive a polo and a goodie bag.
Mm-hmm. By the way, shout out to Brad, too, man, for putting this together.
Brad's unreal, man.
And it's not just UT at all. He's pulling people from all universities across the state, man. Shout out to our guy, Michael Orr. He might be involved in it also, man. Almost had him at the University of Tennessee. But family ties, man. So it'll be a real good time. I'm playing in it, actually, too. Ron challenged me and said, Mon, you keep talking crap about golfing. Get out there. So I'm going to do it.
I'm still in the boot on June 6th, so not that anybody wants to play with me, but they won't be able to.
They definitely want to play with you, Jay. Don't sell yourself.
I'm not getting invited to the Bahamas. And the 2022 banquet presented by the Tennessee Titans, and this is a great event. It really is. I've been there. It's a lot of fun. Saturday, July 23rd, 6 p.m., Omni Nashville downtown. You can buy tickets, get yourself a table at tshf.net, and it's 3 classes worth of entrance, 20, 21, 22. First banquet in person they've done in over 3 years because of COVID and other challenges. It's a really good time. If you're a sports fan that lives in this state, it's the best celebration of things to happen in the state that you will find, and you'll be around a lot of folks. A lot of us are there that night as well. So tshf.net, buy tickets, buy tables, the 2022 banquet presented by the Tennessee Titans. And thanks to Coach Fulmer. Look, he definitely has some things to say about Dave Clawson.
You hear it.
But you slander him when he said he's gone on to do wonderful things, and you're like, eh.
Coach heard that too.
That was special moment.
It was literally the pettiest thing you've ever
It
done.
was super petty.
What more do you expect? Aren't we like this all the time? Even
That's a
in
fair point.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
It's a fair
while
point.
we're playing around and while we're professional, we're gonna be petty.
I mean, I had to change shirts before that segment. 615-737-1045. Y'all didn't even notice.
I didn't even know.
Jay Martin, Ramon, 1045 The Zone. Hey, you want to paint the living room. You want to have pets. You want to repair and upgrade stuff yourself instead of having to submitting a request. It might not be answered. Then when it is, it's got to be whoever they tell you it's going to get repaired by, all that. And it takes forever. Renting can get really old. And you're sending your monthly payments to somebody else's pocketbook instead of actually adding equity and putting them to work for you in your dream home. It's a huge decision to buy a home. There's so much that goes into it. You want to get it right. You can't just return it the way you can go return something else. So you can get overwhelmed, but you're not alone. All you got to do is find a mortgage expert you can trust to help get you on the right track, to make sure that you understand the process all the way through and that comes up with a plan that utilizes your best options. That's a Southeast leading mortgage lender, Mortgage Investors Group, here to help you get not just any home loan, but the right home loan today. Their team of mortgage experts cares. They want you to close on time, and they're going to do everything they can to make that possible. They're going to structure things right, and they're going to help you realize your dreams. Let Mortgage Investors Group go to work for you. Go to their website today and get everything that you need there at migonline.com. That's migonline.com. You can find the office nearest you there as well. Or you can text these three letters, MIG, to 31399. That's MIG to 31399 to get pre-qualified. Mortgage Investors Group, the right home loan, equal housing lender, license number 109111. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 is on. Thanks to Coach Phillip Fulmer for getting up early and chatting with us this morning. I showed you the photo during the break of him and Abby.
Big smile.
Both of them were happy in that photo. Then there's a photo of me and him. It's just like the pro photo. He's like, yeah, where's the wife?
This guy out of here.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Been around.
Claw fence, huh?
You heard him. You kind of heard it.
Well, he just said he. It sounded like it's weird we couldn't make it work because he's such a good coach.
No, he said he turned into a good coach. Don't hit and miss.
All it took was getting around talent.
That's because you're playing in a lesser conference.
Everything's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So here it comes again. Just this random like back and forth violence.
I'm just saying. You throw that out there. I usually got a smart alecky rebuttal to
Many times I feel like our radio show is a perfect podcast
We've been asked
and a
before,
terrible radio show.
after the show and out in public. Are you guys always like this? We're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
real.
Sit in the green room, hang out with us. We should do a 5th hour. We just have a camera on in the green room for 30 minutes.
Don't speak too soon. What if your friend group isn't like that? I think it's
you don't have a friend group.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I've heard people ask time and time again, is Ramon really like that? I'm like, well, for the most part, if you meet us
unlikable?
out. I mean, yeah, that's always been what I've been described as, is unlikable.
On the field.
Yeah, it's not a gimmick at all. I don't think it's a gimmick with anybody at this radio station.
Kind of hang out.
Oh, we're just hanging
Hang
out.
out, and then there's microphones.
Doing the job.
That's what the dude told me last week. Ran into us at Kroger. He ran into me at Kroger. He was just like, yeah, man, just kind of feels like we're in the room with you. I'm like, I hope that's always going to be the feeling.
I missed the dog. Yeah.
Hadn't had much of the dog lately.
Well, you hadn't. Yeah.
Moan during the break, by the way, Shafe said, man, I really want to get another dog, but I kind of don't. And my response was, well, those are your two options.
No, I understand that.
There's literally not a third.
Yeah, I've dealt with that over the years.
You know what I'm looking at? Like, Zeus is about to be 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been seeing a bunch of baby Roddies. And I'm like, God, I really want another one. Because I can't lie to you. This is what my wife said also. She said, I want one too. One, we're busy as heck, as you all know. But 2, I don't know if we're going to get another one like Zeus.
Well, you're never going to get another dog like the one that you love that much.
Like, he don't bark unless necessary.
Yeah.
He chills. He knows the schedule of the entire
Because I love that dog. I'd take that dog.
You'd take that dog right
Yeah.
now, wouldn't you?
For sure.
I just want to see his interaction with another puppy. I'll be honest with you. Like, is he really that cool?
But that's the thing. It's just like, it's working and it's good now. Yeah. I feel like we're talking, this is relationship advice right now.
Go ahead, then, Shay.
No, it's just everything's great.
Like, why we
mean,
having kids?
even idiot AB.
Everything's all right.
Hey, I want to retire a Steeler, which we'll talk about throughout the
he
show.
did,
And I know
he
you'll talk about
did.
that on Buck's show too. But nah, you're good.
It works
You're fine.
good.
There's nothing wrong with what AB said.
No, I just want to clown him because he's easy to be clowned.
He's in Dubai right now, probably asleep.
Not right now. He'd be awake.
What time is it in Dubai?
Dubai would
just
be early
guessed it.
afternoon.
Is it early afternoon, Dubai?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, look at Shafe. He would know that.
Yeah, I don't know what time exactly, but it'd be early
But you know
afternoon.
that to be true.
Yeah, you go in that direction. It's later in the day.
What about Japan?
It's late in the day.
It's late in the day already?
Late in the day.
Okay. All right, for sure.
I don't think it's tomorrow yet in Japan. I don't think we're quite that far along, but it's late.
You want to talk about a thing that you did as a kid when people used to tell you those childhood myths? Well, if you dig all the way down through the earth.
Dude, we could have a ton of fun with that, man.
Yeah. You went through that too?
Of course. Not necessarily that specific one, but just urban legends and stuff like that you heard about as a kid.
For sure. You dig right through the earth. You
Shower in the storm and all that kind of stuff. But then it turns out that's actually not exactly a myth.
It's not exactly.
I kind of looked it up a couple years ago, found out maybe it is true.
Oh, you can get hit?
Potentially.
Oh. Well, let me stop being a Billy Bad Butt then. Dang.
Billy Bad Butt.
I was going to say the other word, and I don't want to say it on air.
Thanks. Third hour of the show's coming up. Jayson, Swain in 25 minutes.
I hate it here.
Seriously, today. Remember I said I didn't know exactly what the adjective would be? Oh, it's a Turd Tuesday.
Turd Tuesday, yeah.
Is it a treacherous Tuesday or is it just flat out a Turd Tuesday?
It turned treacherous.
This show is the Phoenix Suns from Sunday. Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 The Zone.
It's not a compliment.
There's a lot of questions that come with home ownership too, and of course, I'm with Ryan Caleb, the home loan expert, and the real question is, when can I do a cash out refi, Ryan?
Yeah, great question. Let's even take it back a step further is, what is a cash out refinance? I use these words because, it's my business. But a lot of folks out there, maybe they just bought their first home a few years ago and they've never even refinanced. So when we do a refinance, all we're doing is replacing your existing loan with a new, improved, better loan. You don't lose the house, of course. You're just replacing the loan with a new loan. Now, generally, that new loan is going to have better terms, right? Like, why replace it if it's not broken? But when mortgage rates are super low, that's a great reason to replace it with a lower rate and a lower payment. And when equity is as high as it is right now, you might as well look at a cash-out refinance, meaning you owe $300, the house is worth $400, you got $100,000 in equity. Let's get that money out today. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
8:02, good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer. To college football, Tennessee and Virginia will open their 2023 seasons on September 2nd inside Nissan Stadium. It'll be the third time Tennessee has played in a regular season non-conference game at Nissan. The prior games, Bowling Green in 2015, Wyoming in 2002. The Vols last played at Nissan in the Music City Bowl. That did not end well. Former head football coach and director of athletics Phil Fulmer had him on J-Mart and Ramon. You can also check him out on our podcast page at 1045thezone.com. The Titans signed defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker and cornerback Kenneth George. Walker's 5-year career includes stops in Denver and Houston. Meanwhile, George played in 33 games over 4 seasons with the Vols. Titans play safety Jamal Carter on injured reserve. To the NBA, Celtics at the Heat tonight. 7:30 will be the tip for that. 2 games in the NHL. Lightning versus the Panthers, 6 o'clock face-off for that. Blues versus the Avs at 8:30. Baseball, Brewers beat the Braves 1-0. Atlanta limited to just 2 hits. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? Hour number 3, J. Mart and Ramon, 1045 The Zone. All 4 Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville, making it possible. Jayson Swain of the Sports Animal will join us in the next segment. Ron Soleil still to come, 4th hour. It's Tuesday.
It is.
Bang, bang, bang.
Does that mean Oscars?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well,
I
whatever.
don't know which one we doing. Yeah.
Whatever. I miss Oscars.
And they miss you too.
I don't think they do. Really not sure that they do. Celtics Heat begins tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors Mavs tomorrow.
Warriors, Mavs, yeah. Luka gonna have that same energy.
And he's going to have to. But the supporting this, I heard Barkley say this after the win on Sunday night, that best thing happened to the Mavs was Luka getting hurt because everybody else had to get better and did in order to stay afloat.
Mm-hmm.
And now they know what they can do. They've taken their game to another level, and now Luka's back. And they've got a coach that Jason Kidd just decided, I'm going to show you how to play defense. We're going to commit to it. We were one of the worst defensive teams. Luka didn't play it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's playing defense. He's at least contributing, and the rest of the team has galvanized around that. And so now they've become, I've heard it called elite playoff defense right now. Like they look like they're playing playoff level defense that's making things tough. I mean, they made Chris Paul's life miserable. And the other thing that needs to be talked about here is because it was in the same draft.
Yeah.
One of the things I actually got right in my career was when I didn't place a money bet, but I placed a bet the day of the NBA draft that year and said, Luka's going to be the guy.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be DeAndre Ayton. It's going to be Luka.
Ayton hadn't been bad. He's grown in the last couple of years, I feel like.
He has grown,
He's
he's not in the same stratosphere as Luka.
Well, the difference is Luka getting more chances with the ball in his hand a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he controls his own fate, where Ayton got to really wait on. And to your point, you're right. Luka, borderline MVP conversations almost the last couple of years, 3 years with him as far as his game goes. I know everybody's kind of challenged Luka as far as his body.
And that's a concern.
You got to ask that question, like, if he does drop, I don't know what he has to drop. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 10, or just switch up the way it looks at times. Like Luka kind of looks like me out there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but in terms of the way NBA has gone about it now. But what's crazy, he's still balling lights out when it comes down to it. His shot is supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that's going to do for him, or why he hasn't taken that next step. As far as, I feel like, I don't just want to say it's only one person to challenge him, but I feel like that's something Kobe would say to him. Like the same way he tried to challenge Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So I would almost say the discrepancy between one and the two is Ayton got to wait on the ball, and Luka takes the ball every single time. But you're right. Luka's career, he's, as far as stardom goes, you're 100% right on that, Jay. He's taking it to that level. I still can't understand how the Joker won the MVP also.
He's a great player.
Man, you say he's a great player, and I know I don't follow NBA with a magnifying glass, but I don't know. Ron's gonna have to explain that to me. You're gonna have to break me. You have to break
is the best
down.
player in the world.
But you can't give it to the best player in the world every year, right?
Well,
That's the rule.
I don't know. I mean,
Jokic
has won it twice, and what he does is incredible. He's one of the best passing big men that's ever lived.
Did he transform his body too? I know he dropped a good bit.
He has dropped some weight, yeah.
Over the pandemic.
He's an outstanding player. He's not going to be good enough to win a championship by himself.
What is in Denver? I feel like Minnesota's going to end up catching it before they do.
Well, virtually nobody can. That's the point. Like, Durant can't.
Yeah.
He's not good enough to do it by himself. Giannis just got knocked out because he didn't have a running buddy.
Yeah.
Curry's always had a running buddy with Golden State when they've been good. Mm-hmm. You can look at guys like Damian Lillard or Donovan Mitchell and Luka might be Luka doesn't have anybody you would classify as a superstar next to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got talented guys. He's got Brunson and Dinwiddie but those are not household name number twos.
Right.
This is the test, and this is probably Luka's force of nature, and he seems unguardable right now. The way he can get to the rim, he's not like a great 3-point shooter, but when he's on, he's incredible. Yeah. And his step back, Dirk's watching that and saying, "Yeah, I remember that."
It was cool seeing him at the game.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's cool. He's always kind of been like a regal statesman, fun guy.
Yeah.
Dirk's it's real easy to root for Dirk.
Always is. Always. And just as cold as he was with his shot and his game and the big man dribbling the ball, I absolutely love the coaches, the systems, the teams that allow big men to do stuff like that. In a world where it's just go to the block. Like, nah, man, I got something about me too. So seeing Luka do this and seeing Dirk do it, and not even just that, looking at Giannis is another guy. You're like, you're supposed to be playing the 5. Mm-hmm. You're bringing the ball up the court. And like you said, the same thing. His 3-point shot ain't the greatest either, but the fact that he'll pull it. By the way, again, I feel like we got to say it. Shout out to Grant. 18 threes, man. Attempts, anyway. I still
can't believe how many threes they shot as a team in that game.
Yeah, man. But it's going to be interesting. Also, Jayson Kidd's, his relationship with that team right now. I was looking at a clip of him in the locker room with him, and he was just straight up asking them in the coaches, he was in coach mode. I always look at Jayson Kidd as either the commentator the analyst or even the player. But he had the command and respect of that team right now in Dallas that I honestly didn't know he had as a coach. Like, he's talking to him and he was like, "Did you believe?" "Yes, sir." And I was like, y'all still say yes, sir in the locker room? Like, for him being a former coach, he has created a divide, man, that really – they respect him, and they respect what he had to say. He begged them, I guess, as far as playing defense that certain type of way. You said they swarmed Chris Paul in the way they did everything.
They doubled him.
They made
actually, they doubled Book. They doubled Devin Booker, and Paul was kind of the other thing that they're doing is they are, and you saw Dallas do it, and you wonder if other teams are going to follow suit.
Yeah,
they got physical with Chris Paul and got really aggressive and went right at him.
Yeah. Hands, all that.
Who was I heard this yesterday. I don't know who was breaking this down.
It may have been our guy Pat Bev.
No, this was actually on a different radio interview. And basically the thought on Chris Paul was this. Chris Paul plays the point guard spot so well. They call him point guard and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He plays it so perfectly that he's easy to predict.
Oh, wow.
Because he doesn't alter it. He plays it pristine.
Step 1 and step 2.
If there was a good book of point guarding,
yeah,
Chris Paul would be the Rubik. Like, that's what you would build in a factory to be your point guard. Okay. But as such, he didn't do a whole lot of things that you're not anticipating. So if you go to him and force the issue, you can lock him down a little bit.
Wow.
Because you can anticipate what he's going to do. Like what you were talking about with Clausen, it seemed like everybody knew where you guys are going before the snap. You know where Chris Paul's going. You know what he's going to do, which shows how great he is that he still has been this good
Right.
Even with that potentially being something that you can key on if you're a defender to sort of know, because he's a wizard, but he plays it like so textbook that there's no variation to it.
That's how do you continue to make that a strong suit though as a player?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It feels like that's a massive weakness,
but I guess
not to be able to improvise.
That's also the person athleticism coming into play too, I guess. And
I mean, he's
will.
special. He's special.
He is that. But I'll say this too. It's gonna be interesting to watch if that plan against Phoenix of swarming defense is what's applied to Golden State effectively anyway. The thing about it is Golden State will shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and they got role players that come off the bench. They can do similar things. Let's say if they do attack Steph like that, trying to free him up. I mean, you bring in Poole or you bring in somebody else. You're just like, okay, well, now we got our smalls on the court. What are you going to do about this? You know what I'm saying? So, and also how Golden State is going to attack Luka. Like, that's a part too. Like, Draymond can frustrate him.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Draymond's going to be on Luka just because I don't know about that matchup. I think Bev actually did say that earlier today. I think they're going to send different guys at Luka. But Luka's proved small guys can't guard him and big guys can't guard him.
He bullies guys.
But this is going to be, is he a force of nature individually to where everybody rallies and plays well around him and you beat a team that's pretty loaded like Golden State that's also pretty healthy and has multiple guys that can beat you. I can't wait to watch that series.
This is going to be good.
I really can't. Both the series should be good. I'm still kind of hoping for Boston Golden State just because I think that matchup sounds so good right now.
It's going to be physical.
But Boston, Miami is about to be physical.
Yes. Oh, Jimmy 2 times.
Real physical. Jayson Swain knows how to get physical. On the field. On the radio. We'll talk to him on the other side on this, whatever, Big Orange Tuesday or whatever the hell we're calling it. I feel like that voice is the Ryan Tannehill slander voice from me. Like, usually that's where I'm saying something under my breath. It's Tannehill related. But we're not doing any Ryan Tannehill slander today. I mean, I have no idea why we would. I mean, it's not like he threw 4 interceptions. Jayson Swain next. J. Martin Ramon, 104.5 The Zone.
As leaders in disaster cleanup and restoration, the pros at ServPro are prepared for anything. Like when a relief valve on your water heater fails, pouring gallons of water into your finished basement. ServPro is prepared for that. Or when an electrical shortage in your office causes extensive smoke and water damage, ServPro is prepared for it. Or a musty odor indicates you might have a mold problem. ServPro is prepared for that too. You need a lot more than help sometimes cleaning up, and that's why ServPro is your one-stop shop when disaster strikes. Not only do they have the equipment and expertise to clean up damage from fire, water, or mold, but they also offer a variety of construction services ranging from drywall patching and document drying, all the way to complete structural rebuilds. There's just one call you need to make to bring your home or business back as good as new and as soon as possible. So if you're in need of cleanup from fire, water, or any unpleasant event, ServPro is always ready to help. Call ServPro and the official downtown Nashville operators at 800 ServPro to see how we can help you get back to like it never even happened. The number is 800 SERVPRO. That's ServPro, cleaning, restoration, construction. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
he's a great guy, and he's focused. He's smart. You know, he knows that recruiting is the lifeblood of getting it done. He likes to call plays and do all those things, but in the end, that's only going to be the result's only going to be who's catching the ball or running the ball.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was Phillip Fulmer with us earlier, talking about Josh Heupel and what's impressed him so far.
Love this song, and I don't even know why.
Because it was in the office wedding.
It is, right?
We played it at our wedding too, obviously.
You did?
Yeah, in a reception. Just keep it going. Yeah, I mean, it's to get you on the dance floor. And something about that, like, harmonica is just like a very optimistic feel. It's just like stuff's going well.
I'm probably going to mess up the name, but the song Cotton Eye Joe's, Where'd You Come From? Where'd You Go? That song right there.
By Rednecks. By the Rednecks.
Is that the name of it? I ain't want to offend anybody.
I believe it's a Rednecks.
Okay. There's nothing wrong
Isn't
with
that
that.
right? I think it's Rednecks with an X.
Yeah, I think so.
First time I heard that was at UT. That was a bar there, too, or a place, Cotton Eye Joe's.
Cotton Eye Joe. Rednecks, yep.
That's the name? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, you're not slandering anybody, Moan.
Hey, try not.
Not for this minute.
What Kendrick say? Screw your cancel culture.
Country Boys tag team that worked for some of the promotions that I worked with in pro wrestling. They use that as their theme song.
That'll get you going, too.
What? Cotton Eye Joe or that?
Yeah, the Cotton Eye Joe. Both of them.
I'm not the biggest fan of Cotton Eye Joe.
Really?
Sort of irritating.
What?
Shafe?
It can get you going, but it gets irritating quickly.
I think both are true. There are times I'm like, all right, I'm all right with it. All right, now we've had enough.
Oh, okay, I get that.
Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, Jayson Swain from Sports Animal in Knoxville. What's going on, Swain?
What's up, everything, guys?
I was about to say, how are you? And you just said everything right behind it, Swain.
Good conversation, Swain. Have a good show.
Hey, people ask me what's up, I say everything is up. People are so used to saying nothing or I don't know. And no, man, it's everything is up. Everything is up.
So what's the talk right now on your show? What are you guys getting into the most? What's the is it baseball right now, or are people already looking towards football? Where is everybody?
It's a mix. It's a mix for sure. I think baseball, the excitement is still there. Tennessee #1 in the country, and they have been for a couple of weeks. And the expectation is these guys. You look at the analysts, and they feel like Tennessee's the best team in the country, and there's a large gap in between them and everyone else. And I think the expectation is to go all the way. So it's just been fun to kind of follow this team and see how much fun they're having, seeing them be the target of college baseball. One, because they are the #1 team in the country, and number two, because of how they play, and they can rub some people the wrong way. So they know they have a target on their back, and people are gunning for them because the baseball purists don't feel like they play the game the right way. So it's been fun to watch, and then. Tennessee football, we're getting closer and closer to the start of summer, and Tennessee announced buying out BYU yesterday and going to play Virginia there in Nashville to start 2023 season. So I'm looking forward to going over to Ramon's house and sleeping on the couch, man. I don't know what floor I'm going to be on. This is the first floor, second floor, third floor, or the fourth floor.
You got to take an elevator, Swain.
Okay, all right. I see where we're headed today. Swain. Matter of fact, you sleep by the fire pit outside. That's where we're going.
Look who's got a fire pit.
I know it's nice.
That's the Swain I know and love right there, baby.
Look, man, if your name's Jayson, that means that, look, we don't have Ramon Foster money out here.
See,
No, we don't, man.
See, this is what and you're just buying into it, huh, Swain? Want to talk about the improper benefits you got with all those Jordans at Tennessee? Huh?
NIL deal, man. NIL deal.
Wait a second. When did you play? I'm not sure NIL was part of the equation back then.
Listen,
we've got dead quiet.
That's the story. I'm sticking to it.
Swain said, "No face, no case, baby." There we go.
So to that point about baseball purists, does it matter what they say as long as you're winning? Like we feel like, look, the worm can turn real fast if you lose. All those antics can become the opposite. But as long as you're winning, I don't think anybody cares.
No, it doesn't matter. As long as you're winning and as long as you're playing hard for one another. And I mean, they really haven't done anything crazy lately. I mean, I guess the last thing you can point at is when Luke Lifchius, put his finger on the home plate, which I thought was hilarious. But they haven't really done much since then. But as long as you're winning, I mean, it can only say so much. And if you are saying a lot while Tennessee is winning, that just means you're a hater. And that's okay because, we need haters to motivate us and push us. So if I'm Tennessee baseball, I want as many haters as possible.
When it comes down to that side of the game too, Swain, just embracing the villain role. That's one thing I've learned since being on this side of the media and covering our Vols and just honestly all things Tennessee sport is it can get kind of toxic, man. And as far as embracing that side of the fan base, man, what do you say to those people that, buy into it? We've been down long enough or what?
I say embrace it, Patriot fans, they love being hated. Why? Because they were a dynasty when Tom Brady was there. Duke basketball, Coach K, people hated Duke. Because they're sorry? No, because they were winning and beating everybody up. People hate schools and programs, organizations that win at a high level. That's where I want to be. I want people to be jealous, envious, upset, accuse us of cheating. I mean, that's what they do to all the other organizations and programs that win at a high level. So I want that energy coming my way. That means we're doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Swain, you're a guy, man, that's from the state of Alabama that played at the University of Tennessee.
Hey, don't be reminding folks, though, all right? Don't be reminding people I'm from Alabama.
Hey, man,
right? Try to keep that a secret.
Look, you and JK, man. Joey was too.
Yeah. With that being said, Tennessee has been dipping his paw into the water of Alabama talent, man. They end up getting a 4-star safety out of the state also. For kids to leave Alabama and go to Tennessee, what does that actually say to you as far as, what this group has been able to do as far as recruit?
Well, I mean, for them, it's all about building strong relationships first, and it's about fits. And the sale is up front and honest. It's, hey, we're going to have fun, we're going to play fast, and we're going to be real. And, let's not get it twisted here. It's not like Tennessee's going down there and stealing kids away from University of Alabama right now. So one thing you have to do is you got to find kids early in the process. The Alabamas of the world right now, they're going to slow play recruits. Why? Because they can. But one thing you can do, get in early, identify a player early, beat out Auburn, beat out some of the other programs, the Ole Misses, the Floridas of the world. Get in early, let that kid know that you see what they can be, and you commit to them. They commit to you, and then hopefully if Alabama comes along or Georgia comes along, that you have built a strong enough relationship to where those kids won't flip. But the stage of where Tennessee football is, you have to identify guys early and make that connection with them.
No, that's absolutely right. When you look at what Heupel is doing from that standpoint, from the recruiting standpoint, and some of the names that are getting there, is it just the fact that you watch them and you know that offense is something that you want to be a part of and that's helping you out, or is it Spire and is it all the other stuff that's happening all across the country? We talked to Fulmer. He said, look, it's not just ball anymore. I don't know that I'd want to be a part of this universe from that standpoint as a football coach, but just think about all the stuff that you have to navigate now if you're Josh Heupel and you're just any kind of athletic program. What do you think it is? Like, what's the biggest draw right now, at least from Heupel's standpoint, to get people there?
I mean, I think it's a combination. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves, guys. I mean, we are new world of college athletics, and so NIL deals is part of, I think, recruits' decisions. Honestly, the culture is important. The success rate of getting guys to the next level and then currently winning is important. Now, the education, the major, that factors in as well. But, I mean, and Josh Heupel's in a good position. And I think Coach Fulmer, if he was coaching right now, he would be in a good position, too, to navigate through the new world because you have organizations like Spire that set up the right way, and you have the fan base that's going to be involved, and it's going to be better for the NIL. So you see the reports out there. You see top recruits looking at Tennessee going, oh, man, I like Tennessee now. Well, I'm sure you do because, we got a good NIL game going on over here. So, it's unfortunate for some other programs that may not have that type of structure, but that's just too bad. Tennessee's in a really good spot, and I think if you're Josh Heupel, you're just fortunate that you have a lot of support around you to be able to use the NIL to help you in recruiting and keeping guys in your locker rooms, because you see around the country guys are hitting the portal, going other places because there's better opportunities. We haven't had that. We've had guys stay here because they're getting taken care of.
Swain, and that's why I kind of wanted to go with you. Like Jayson said, we had Fulmer on in the last hour, and I'm sure you was out there that practice that day. He told me to just take off, and I just had to go run, and he didn't give me a number when to stop. And I asked him about that, and he said nowadays kids will just keep running to the portal. You know what I'm saying? So what do you have to do as a coach, man, to really keep it bottled in, to keep the process the same, to where you have a guy like the Alabama running back, what was his, Robinson, that finally got his lion's share of the carries this past year, and he was very productive for Alabama or anywhere else. What do you have to do to keep those guys in the building and locked in on the program and their teammates?
It's a double-edged sword, Ramon. I think it's a little mix of both. Like, yeah, kids got to be tougher, mentally tougher, and it starts at home with parents and understanding that it's not, necessarily the tone. It's the words that you got to pay attention to. So just because you get yelled at doesn't mean, like, you should crawl into a ball and start crying. Listen to what the coach is saying. So you have that side of it, right, where the kids are a little bit more fragile. They are running to the transfer portal when they don't need to. But on the same hand, this portal has really been good for the players, because now these coaches who have all this power or had all this power and will talk to you out of your name and demean you and treat you a certain type of way because they knew you couldn't leave. How about the coaches who have been fired over the last couple of months for racist comments? So now we weeding them coaches out of here. So I think the portal is bad on some hand, but on the other hand, hey, man, if you a coach that you living different than what you're saying in locker rooms, then you're going to get processed. You're going to get exposed. So the real coaches, the genuine coaches, the coaches that truly, truly care about their players as human beings and not some commodity, man, those are the coaches who will win, and those are the programs that will be successful moving forward with this new world of college athletics.
So one thing I've seen floated out there, Swain, from a couple of different people, I'm just curious what you think about this idea, the idea that you're not worth anything before you've done anything for my university. So maybe the rules should change to where you can't make anything until after your first year in terms of some of the deals that they're signing in advance, these $1 million deals and all this. I kind of roll my eyes because, one, it ain't going to happen. But is there some kind of middle ground here where some version of that makes sense because you're paying an exorbitant amount of money to people who have done literally nothing for you?
Yeah, I mean, we all are saying, something has to change, but we don't have any solutions because I don't think there is one. Like, you can't cap somebody's potential. I mean, you worth whatever the market say you are worth. So I mean, you can't tell a kid, hey, you can't make this amount. This is too much, or you can't make any until you get here. Well, if he's worth that right now, then why can't he get paid that? And then you look at some of the laws around the country. In California, high school players can get paid now. So that's the issue. There's not a uniform, there's not a uniform law across the country. There's different states that have different laws, and that makes it, I think, a lot more difficult for the NCAA to try to manage this thing. Man, they had chances to do this years ago and kick the can down the road. Didn't want to do anything. Looked the other way. Just kept making money off the players' back, and this is where they are. So I don't feel sorry for them at all. It does, stink when you look at, some of the things that's going on. I would never, ever be on board with tampering. There's a player on one team, and you have representatives calling that player, getting him to get to the portal. For you to steal him, I'm not okay with that. But as far as players on the current team driving Lamborghinis or recruits saying, hey, I want to go to this school because they got the best NIL deal, if that's what he wants to do, cool. I'm cool with all that stuff. I'm not cool with the tampering.
So is the way I look at it, I'm riding in that same car with you, Swain, as far as saying that. But I'll say this to so I had somebody ask me, was it y'all? Like, what would you tell a kid? No, it's fine, but what would you tell a kid in this era of NILs and going to school? Because instead of $6 million, you're gonna give me $8 million, or instead of $200,000, I'm gonna get 1.2. So how do you make a decision, Swain? I would probably tell them like you would, in a sense. Look, just because the school is offering this doesn't mean you're probably gonna play it, and the system has to be right for you in order to actually play there and actually go to the next level, because it's only so far your talent is going to go if you're not actually playing or being productive in that offense or defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the conversation needs to start with, hey, what is your long-term goal?
Yeah.
Like, we know that you're a top 50 player, top 100 player, and most of the time these are the guys that put themselves in position to play at the next level in the NFL. Is that what you ultimately want to do, or do you want to be a college athlete who makes some chump change, but after that, that money's going to run out? If you're someone that has a vision, you have good people around you to let you know that, hey, the long-term goal is going to the NFL, then you got to put yourself in a position to do that, whether it's playing on a team that gives you that exposure to competition, or the system that uses your talents to the best of your abilities. And if that's less than the other school that is not a fit for you, so one school's offering you $200,000 and the school that's a best fit for you is only offering you $100,000, man, you gotta understand that, all right, is that $100,000 worth losing opportunity to make millions in the long run?
Mm-hmm.
Those are conversations I think that got to happen, man. Like, I'm a receiver in high school. I'm not playing at a school with triple option just because they give me an extra $100,000. That's crazy. No, I'm going somewhere to catch balls. So I will take that $100,000 reduction, but I'm going to a place where I know that 3 guys are going to catch 70 passes a season, because I know I'm going to make that money up on the back end.
Right.
Don't let the money that you can get now blind you from the long-term goal of going to the next level. That's the conversation I would have with some of these players who are making decisions solely on the price tag.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before we're on your way out, man. What do you need to see in year 2 from Heupel from this offense? Before we even get to camp, before we get to who the starters, before we get to week 1, what's the one step you think needs to be made, whether offensively and defensively, for this team quickly?
Third down and short, I want to see us blowing efforts off the ball, Ramon. Goal line, third down and short, I want us to get more first down and short yard situations, offensively. Defensively, I want us to get to the passer. I want us to convert on third downs and get off the field. Ole Miss game gave up too many third down conversions. So for me, it's about third down on offense and defense. Blowing MFers off the ball.
There we go, Swain.
Real quick, what do you think of Theo as a Titan?
Oh, man, that makes my heart so warm to see Theo Jackson, a Titan, see him up there in the podium. Just so happy for him. I know he's going to make the best of the opportunity. He's one of the coolest stories in the SEC, one of the most underrated stories in the SEC and the entire country. So happy for him.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Swain. Good stuff, brother. Now you get to talk for a living as well a little bit later on today.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you guys. I mean, y'all guys are killing it. Just happy to be, partners with you guys, and man, look forward to being on again.
Indeed, Swain.
No doubt.
We definitely will. Yeah, he brought it today.
Yeah, love it, man.
Blowing off the ball.
Bleepers off the ball. I'm with him.
That's what Urban Meyer thinks of kickers.
Also, what he thinks of his hand.
Fulmer's comment, by the way, as we go to break, Fulmer's comment with us last hour when he was talking about running you right into the portal now. Yeah. He's not wrong.
He ain't wrong.
That's why I don't think Herb can go back and coach again. Because that style, they'll just leave.
I thought it was hardening you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was part of the process. Now it's a little different, man.
That's what Deshaun likes as well.
Hey, get out of here.
J-Mart and Ramon, 104.5.
Bless your heart.
If you didn't hear my partner Jayson earlier, man, he was talking about how hot and sticky and humid it's going to be toward the latter part of this week, okay? It's going to be hot, okay? I'm talking about real hot. Think about your windows open, fans in the window because you didn't properly have your air conditioning unit serviced properly. And now it's out, and now you're on the waiting list because you got to wait on somebody to accept your call to come fix it. Well, I can solve that issue for you, okay? I have the heating and cooling company that can take care of all of your HVAC needs. And they are Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. If you don't want a mad wife, loud kids running around the house because they can't contain themselves, you got to call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They have over 20 years of experience serving all of Southern Middle Tennessee. They are a family-owned and operated company that prides itself on outstanding customer service. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling also offers cost-effective solutions such as a free service call for a repair and free estimates on replacement systems. They also back their work with 10-year parts and labor warranties and up to 72 months of no interest on new installs. So be ready for the spring or the hot summers or anything that may come your way by getting the best indoor air quality thanks to Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They have 2 locations to serve you, Columbia and Lyles, and available anytime at springhillac.com. Before that summer hits,
J. Martin Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. So, boy, Titans fans aren't the only people upset with Mike Tanier, and Tanier doesn't care.
Ooh.
We do not care.
What did he call that happened to an article he wrote to somebody? What
do you call it? Snitch tag?
Snitch tag.
That's what Aaron Schatz said.
Yeah. So they snitch tagged the entire
Bears receiving core.
Yeah.
Because what he said in the draft was basically, Velas is a number one receiver there. He ain't a number one.
Mm-hmm.
They did nothing, and Justin Fields is the one that
is going to be
just left holding the bag, basically.
I mean, you really got to look at it. I love Velas. You know what I'm saying? As far as what his playmaking ability is.
Great three.
But you need some other help unless somebody on that roster is a gem that we don't know about, Jayson.
Oh, we got important business to take care of here.
What happened? What happened?
Craig Ferguson is 60, Moan. Craig Ferguson of the Late Late Show, great comedian. He is how tall?
I'm giving him 5'8".
Schaefer, you have a thought?
5'11".
He's 6'1 and a half.
Yeah.
That sounds like
taller
a
dude.
Short person name right there.
What?
I don't really.
Short person name.
It's not Guy Fieri's birthday, but how tall is Guy Fieri?
Guy Fieri? I'm giving him 5'10".
That's exactly correct.
Is he? There we go. I've seen him next to people. That's why.
He was in town.
He was in town a couple weeks ago at Whatchamacallit Chicken.
Yeah.
What?
Whatever place.
At Whatchamacallit Chicken. I can't think of the
Is
name.
that the name of the restaurant?
No, it should be.
I like it.
You better
I'm
say
about to
that
set
one.
that one up.
There's
right. I'll trademark that.
a candy bar named Whatchamacallit.
Yeah, that's right. There's usually one in there because Ron.
Sweet Tooth Run.
I'm
I'm
worried
looking
about
for
Ron.
Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher.
Who is
Pam.
correct.
Most Hollywood actresses are small. I'm giving her 5'3".
5'7".
5'5".
All right.
Right in the middle.
Right in
Bad.
the middle there. You won Price is Right rules.
According to.
Right in the middle of where you want to be right there. So that's pretty good.
You said 5'.
Phrasing.
Rick Fox, basketball player, of course.
They're usually taller than you think. I'm giving Rick Fox 6'9".
6'8".
6'6".
What?
See, I thought 6'6", and then you said taller than you think, so I went, all right, I'll go to 6'8".
Are they not most of the time? Like Steph is 6'3", isn't he? He looks short out there.
He does look short, yes. Aretha Franklin.
Ooh, Queen of Soul.
Don't diss RESPECT her.
I'm giving she was a tall lady. I'm giving her 5'9".
5'10".
5'5".
Wow.
Ain't no way.
She was a tall lady, or she was not.
What her
There's also that possibility.
Maybe her stature looked like she looked like a tall lady.
Man.
Ralph Macchio. First off, who is Ralph Macchio, Moan?
Comedian. Ralph Macchio. Am I off on that one?
Danielson.
Oh my God. Ugh.
You know what that reference was?
Danielson, Karate Kid.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I know that
sure.
one. Ralph was probably 5'7".
I'm going to go 5'8".
5'8 3/4.
Did you Price is Right me?
Machine.
No, I thought he was 5'8".
Machine Gun Kelly.
6'1".
Mr. Megan Fox.
Mr. Megan Fox. He's gone. They're drinking each other's blood.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
Oh my God. I give him 6'1", Shafe.
6'2".
6'3.5".
If you outbid me,
$1. $1.
He's legitimately outbidding me right now.
Macklemore.
5'6". I don't think he's that tall.
5'10".
5'10.5".
God.
Now, but I didn't.
You didn't outbid me that time. You
okay.
just straight up hit you hit the mark.
Yep.
5'10". God.
Put out an album on Friday. Kendrick Lamar.
K-Dot small. 5'6".
5'8".
5'4.5".
I told you.
I knew he was small. I didn't
knew-
realize he was that
He's
small.
5'4".
Ooh.
Miles is about his height.
He might need to stop rapping because you can't come hard at 5'4".
Well, RJ's taller than everyone on this list.
K-Dot's 5'4".
He's 5'4.5". 164 centimeters. I'd say I was 164 centimeters.
I'll let you add
Centimeters, whatever. I'm making up words.
Golly.
That is demerit.
Is it? Jay Leno, who's now doing a new TV show, apparently.
6 foot even.
Are we talking about his chin or his height?
Oh my gosh.
Dude. Jay
The
Leno.
chin is in multiple zip codes.
Yeah.
Does he insure it the same
His
way
chin
Michael
takes
Buffer
up
does
all
it?
of Orange County.
What is and his car garage?
Right.
That thing is
Jay
magnificent.
Leno is
I'm going to say 5'6". I don't think he's that tall.
I got
5'11".
Okay, I was dead wrong on that one.
I figured he was a little taller.
One more quick. We haven't seen him play in a while.
What's his name? The eyebrow?
Oh, Anthony Davis. No,
Anthony
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard, 6'7".
6'5".
6'6". So
All
both of you were
Split.
wrong.
Got it.
Split.
Shafe's under, so he wins.
Yeah.
I can't believe Kendrick Lamar is 5'4".
I know what I thought he was 5'4". I knew he was short.
I knew he was short too,
And we're
but
not
I didn't realize he was
short
5'4" short. No, we're not. I
We're
mean,
not height shaming.
If we were, who cares? It's not like they can do anything about it.
Donkey Kong.
They can nut tap us, but they don't have to reach down to do it. 4th hour's next. Ron Slay in 25 minutes. Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 The Zone.
9:02. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Schaefer to college football. Tennessee and Virginia will open their 2023 seasons on September 2nd of that year inside Nissan Stadium. Be the third time Tennessee has played in a regular season non-conference game at Nissan. Bowling Green in 2015, Wyoming in 2002. Titans signed defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker and cornerback Kenneth George. Walker's 5-year NFL career has included stops in Denver and Houston. Meanwhile, George played in 33 games over 4 seasons with the Vols. The Titans did play safety Jamal Carter on injured reserve. To the NBA playoffs tonight, Celtics at Heat, Eastern Conference Final. 7:30 will be the tip for that. 2 playoff series start tonight in the NHL. Lightning at Panthers, 6 o'clock will be the face-off for that one. Blues at Avs, 8:30 start. The Brewers beat the Braves yesterday 1-0. Atlanta limited to just 2 hits. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? 4th hour of the hashtag fastest 4 hours in radio upon you, upon us. All 4 Seasons Garage Doors in Nashville making it possible. Ramon Foster, Jonathan Schaefer also making it possible. I'm Jayson Martin. Ron Slay will join us next segment. It's Tuesday, of course. At Ramon Foster, at Schaefer on Sports, at JMart Radio, at JMart and Ramon. So here's how good Patrick Beverly was yesterday on TV.
What happened?
Fox is talking about him right now. The topic is on what he said about Chris Paul yesterday on Fox's show. They're talking about ESPN comments, calling him a cone.
He called that man a cone.
So, by the way, this beef goes back a long time with the two of them. He said this on a podcast years ago. You know Chris, so people don't understand. Me and Chris, what we have has been going on since high school.
Really?
A lot of people don't understand the backstory, but me and Chris, we definitely understand the backstory. I got invited to a LeBron James camp, the big Nike camp, when we were in college. Chris Paul was there. I killed him, destroyed him. Then I see him in the NBA, so that energy is going to roll over to the NBA. So there was a grudge.
Okay.
Probably also that he killed him there, but Paul's the one that got all the love.
Well, yeah.
Because he's the better player.
I mean, of course.
And, of course, look, Chris Paul's a dirty player. He's an all-time great, but he's a dirty player.
He's been known to be dirty, Jay, more than anything else. Well, how does he get away with it? Is he slicker than most, or he just plays the politics? Which one is it?
I think both are true.
Both are true.
And he's a star.
I mean, but to preface it again, he's a damn good player, though.
Exactly. That's how you get away with it. If he's terrible, all you know about him is that he goes below the belt.
Yeah. There was a bunch of people commenting on it for sure. Mike Golick Jr. said something earlier I thought was pretty good. Did you have his tweet still up, Jay?
I had it in the chat.
Yeah, I have to find that again.
He said there's a fine line between criticism and disrespect. It gets blurred a lot as guys enter the media, but very rarely do we see it from someone still inside the fraternity. Usually it goes the other way. I think Bev's probably getting close to being done.
Well, he also had a follow-up tweet right after that. He said, that being said, Pat Bev did on TV what he's done his entire career, and it would probably turn into a pretty lucrative media career for him.
I mean, watching it yesterday, I said, well, he's going to get a job. Like,
strategic.
No question. It literally became the biggest story in sports yesterday, was what Pat Beverly said on ESPN TV. He's a natural for it. Whether you agree with what he's saying or not is irrelevant. There's a whole lot of dumb people on TV that say a whole lot of dumb stuff but get paid millions of dollars to do it.
Facts.
He's always going to be willing to talk. He definitely has a Steve Smith about him in that way. But the one thing you are going to have to know about him going in is he is going to take the opportunity to take shots at people he doesn't like.
So you're saying it's not genuine in how he's going about
I think it's
it.
definitely going to be based on how he feels about you, at least for a time. When you get further away and he's evaluating a league that he doesn't know everybody in,
right,
that's going to be different. But I do think he's going to wage some personal grudges, and I don't know that there's a shelf life for that.
So he's basically just going to be a Twitter feed on camera?
Probably. That's what he is on the floor. He's a Twitter feed on the floor.
Okay, you say that, but let's go on the other side of it too. Well, what about, I've heard numerous times, I don't watch Perkins a lot, but the way he's a jump on the table guy for LeBron then.
That's a problem.
How was that?
That's a problem.
How is one different from the other?
Maybe nothing. I mean,
and I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, well, what's the difference in what either one of them is doing?
Well, I don't like listening to Kendrick Perkins.
Okay.
Until one thing with the Draymond thing. But, like, his analysis and all that kind of stuff, especially the way he goes to the mat for LeBron, I don't see the need.
You damn sure ain't cute.
Love that.
Man, you ain't handsome.
That's it. Just say those drops, like we said.
You damn sure ain't cute.
But
Man,
I don't.
You ain't handsome.
I don't find Perk to be. I don't find Perk to be very good.
That was the best Perkins right there. He's had some good stuff.
That is the best.
But that's the best. He told Draymond, what did he say to Draymond, Shave?
You damn sure ain't cute. Man, you ain't handsome.
It's because Draymond called him an ogre.
Draymond called that man an ogre, and he had to address him, man.
You damn sure ain't cute.
But I mean,
Man,
Beverly
you ain't handsome.
But Beverly hates Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And made sure everybody knew it yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
So
I've never seen that. I'll be real. I don't know if Steve Smith has
not like
done
that. Not like that.
I've seen players beef with media types.
People, yes.
Yes, all the time. I've seen that. I've seen guys go at each other on social media, but never on the network. And honestly, it's been fairly clean.
Speaking of which, by the way, social media. 2 days ago, A.J. Brown tweeted, "Pray for people who talk about you that don't even know you." And then an hour ago tweeted, "When you're uncommon, get ready for the common people to not understand you." He's not going to take my advice, but I would delete my account, man. And I'm not saying that in a flippant way. I'm saying you need to delete your account because you're in a market that's going to murder you on a daily basis.
You know what's interesting about? I told you I listened to Charles, and Charles was talking about him going from Alabama to Philly. I don't know if y'all ever heard him speak about that. He was just like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. He was like, of course, I'm from the South. I was like, I never been up north. He was like, but Philadelphia is a place that's been characterized by everybody that's ever played there. Everybody has ever. It's hard. As long as you ball and they love you. He was like, and I had to learn that early on. He's like, but it hardens you if you're built for it. You know, I'm not saying AJ isn't, but you have Hall of Famers, AI, Barkley. All those guys say the exact same thing when it comes down to being a Philadelphia type player.
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, McNabb. I mean, think about it. We bring up Jayson Kelce all the time. They love him because why? He is a Philly type of personality. And you have to be built a certain way. And it can be for any city. But the history that Philly has, Rocky, you know what I'm saying? Like embodying all of what that is and toughness to the core. Whatever the tweets mean, they're just that. But if he's speaking
if he's in his feelings now because of Titans fans, yeah, like he needs to have his ears surgically removed.
I pray for him.
He needs to just not be able to hear this. That's the only way that you can get through this. Because if he's in his feelings now, or he's even intimating, because a lot of problem with AJ's Twitter is it's always vague. And it doesn't seem like it was particularly well thought before it was put up there because it doesn't have meaning some of the time. Or he's just mentioning something that's in his head that doesn't have any relevance to anything. And it's just like, what are you trying to say? What's the point here? It can be.
Yeah.
But usually it has some kind of purpose.
Right.
But this right here, these things can be taken in a direction. And the problem is a lot of his stuff can be taken in directions when sometimes it's just a lyric or it's something else. But like he goes with the things we just talked about. And 3 days ago, he said, big Mason Kinsey fan, your time, little bro, 100. What does that mean? What does that mean? Tice fans, Mason Kinsey's your guy?
He tweeted
I don't
that?
know. Yeah, he tweeted it 3 days ago. Big Mason Kinsey fan. Your time, little bro.
I don't know what that means.
I'm sure it was in response to something about Mason Kinsey. Like probably it's a tweet with a reply or something.
Everything
like
I'm
that.
hearing about a guy that plays the same position as him, the young wide receiver from UCLA, Kyle Phillips. That seems like it's closer to his time, unless they keep both of them on roster. Man, everybody's gushing over Kyle Phillips, and maybe rightfully so. But doesn't Mason Kinsey play the slot?
I mean,
for the most part,
Mason,
he does.
We'll see him in the preseason. We'll find out. It's May 17th. I don't really care about the gushing going on, period.
I mean,
now.
well, yeah, of course.
All Kyle Phillips can do is what he has done.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot that needs to be determined.
Well, I'll say this. Good on him for supporting his guy, Mason Kinsey, man.
Sure.
I'll say that.
Sure. Ron Slay will join us in the next segment. Surprised he's not already here because the bags of food are here.
Bags are loaded.
So we'll talk to him. I want to talk to him about Pat Bev in particular.
He had some opposition about it in the chat.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that and what the good is, what the bad is from that scenario. A lot to get to, of course, with Ron. It's Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 The Zone.
Right on cue. Spring weather in the South can get a little complicated. One day it can be warm or even hot, and you need to turn on your air conditioner. But at night, really like last night, you can get a little chilly, a little brisk outside, and you need a little bit of heat to keep your house warm and comfortable. It's Ramon Foster, and I have the heating and cooling company that can take care of all of your HVAC needs, and they are Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They have over 20 years of experience serving all of southern Middle Tennessee. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is a family-owned and operated company that prides itself for outstanding customer service. They also offer cost-effective solutions such as a free service call for repair and free estimates on replacement systems. They also back their work with 10-year parts and labor warranties and up to 72 months of no interest on new installs. So be ready for the spring or the summer or anything that may come your way by getting the best indoor air quality thanks to Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They have 2 locations to serve you, Columbia and Lyles, and available anytime at springhillac.com. Go talk to the folks I know at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling.
J. Martin, Ramon, 104.5 Zones. Tuesday, 9:20 means Ron Slay's in the building. Man, it's been way too much orange today. Fulmer, Swain, Slay.
Baker Mayfield in the first hour.
But that first hour of this show needs to be shot into the sun.
Hey, Savage, I feel like Savage is going to take that first trip. You're going to take that trip with Baker, aren't
He's
you?
not being invited.
He's been invited
No,
to the
he
Bahamas. Hey.
You can show up, but you're going to be left on the tarmac, and then you're going to limp back.
Hey, man. Listen. If you don't describe who are the people involved and able to get this invitation, well, I got to look at the description and see do I fall under it. It said offensive
weapons.
His
weapons.
I've been a weapon there for a long time. It's only right.
You're sort of a grenade, though.
Hey.
All I got to do is pull the pin. It'll take your own franchise out.
That's right. So be careful where you put me. That's what I'm telling you. Put me on the flight and just when y'all get off, I'm going to get off. I'm going to go my way. Y'all tell me what time we board and take off again.
Before
Deshaun loves to get off.
See, that's why we need Baker there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we need Baker there, okay?
Because he'll be throwing shots like that.
Before we get into Pat Bev with Savage, okay? And by
Yeah,
the
I
way,
need some of that.
Barnes is
and a
freaking
bunch.
killing it again, okay? We'll get to that. But listen,
Okay.
in recent history, Jay told me I thought it was 5 years. Jay says it's only been 4 years with Baker. They picked up his 5th-year option, okay? One, that tells me I am a weapon, okay?
Yeah.
I was the
Pick
number
me
one
up.
overall pick. As far as that long list of quarterbacks, I'm the guy.
That lines up.
That lines up.
Yeah.
And
Y'all idiots.
with the rumors of me being traded,
Yeah.
I'm not already.
Yeah. And guess what?
Well, talk to me.
And guess what? With those rumors being out there,
Yeah.
hey, y'all, this the type of guy I am. That don't even affect me. I'm still down with y'all.
But you know it does because we have eyes to your Twitter account and a podcast where you're in there wearing tennis shoes talking about what you're going to do.
Hey, how many days has it been?
This is what?
Since RT
Tannehill
17.
slander?
Okay, here you go.
There it is.
And this is no slander. RT 17 said somebody else went running his account. So while you paying attention to my Twitter account, somebody else running it.
Yeah,
during
well, the
season.
podcast, I saw you on video.
Hey, I was the dog. The dog was me.
Trade me. Let's go to Seattle.
Men in black.
Hey,
You know what dogs wear? Cones.
see,
Oh.
now you know what? Disrespectful.
Let's talk
Totally
brass
disrespectful.
tacks. 'Cause
I'm
yesterday,
disrespectful.
that became a big topic.
Before
And now
you
it's
go,
a topic.
Before you go,
Okay.
as far as TV goes, he gave me what I wanted.
Oh, he gave ESPN what they wanted.
He gave
I
listeners
ain't
not
never-
involved with the game what they want.
There we go.
Which
He
is
gave
a
them what they
whole lot of people.
It is.
A whole lot.
It is. But this is my thing.
Okay, talk to me.
Pat Bev makes some good points 2 out of 10, but I can't listen to the 2 because of the 8 that he spews out his mouth. A point that he made, and I said, me and one of my reps was texting during the game, second quarter, and I said, hey man, they need to take Chris Paul out, dog.
You called it. You said
He hurting them, you know what I mean? And they trying to get the switch, and they getting the switch, and he's abusing them, and then you start to see him reaching for his little hamstring. So to ignore all that, let's get him out of there. Put somebody else in, play him in Spurs. I thought Pat Bev said the same thing, and it was spot on. When you start saying the man is a cone,
I've never even heard that before.
he's not. Yeah, this is the kids out here saying that. So Pat Bev is a kid. So 9 times all defensive team and 7 times first team all defense. That's not a cone. That's not. This you talking about somebody that's a Hall of Famer. And so if you preface everything by saying, listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't even fool with Chris Paul though. I don't even like Chris Paul. Like if I preface it with that, then I can understand where you coming from. Now we can talk basketball now that we got that out the way.
Okay.
So if I'm talking about Andrew Luck, I don't like Andrew Luck.
Okay.
But when we talking about football, hey man,
hands off.
I just don't like him.
Okay.
But when we talking about football, that man can play.
Okay.
Matt Ryan, the same thing with me. I don't fool with Matt Ryan.
You've been clear.
That's what I do. But when we talking about football, and we got to evaluate his career, I can't hate on that man.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you can't fool with Matt Ryan?
I don't like Matt
wrong
Ryan.
with Matt Ryan?
Yeah, I don't like him.
He don't like him.
As a person?
As a player.
No, I mean not as a person. Like he walking.
Because
man.
that's the difference here with Beverly. Like Patrick Beverly
but that
can't
stems from
stand Chris
basketball.
Paul.
That stems from basketball. That
It
stems
started
from
there,
being
but
the
I
little
think it's
brother.
gotten worse.
No, it's because he wants it to get worse because he can get some attention. Because ain't nobody paying attention to the little guy that's over there in the corner. And you've been the little brother the entire career.
Well,
when I was
Matt
with
Barnes
the Clippers, you was the little brother. When I left and went to the Rockets, you was the little brother. Then I left, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting all the praise, and then I'm making first team all defense, and all you do every time to be getting some accolades in the league is hold up your one that you stole from Tony Allen. Like, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
well, I mean,
come on, Pat Bell.
that's the whole of it with Pat Beverly.
Yeah,
and he
silly.
even says it goes back to high school where he beat him at a camp,
See what
and
I'm
then
saying?
Chris Paul became famous. Like
Like,
he
come
didn't
on.
go to that point, but that's the point. Is Chris Paul became famous? I didn't.
And that's ridiculous.
And he
like
does.
I played Chris Bosh and gave Chris Bosh that work. Am I going to be out here spewing that? No, man. Don't nobody care about that. Man, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what I'm gonna say? Man, if I would have had the same opportunity as Chris Bosh, I would have been the Hall of Fame. You didn't get that. So what are you talking about?
So to look at his highlights in the awards, he's one-time first-team All-Defensive
Mm-hmm.
NBA, and I say only, but 2 times All-Defensive second team. So he can't even hold Chris.
Wow.
He can't even hold Chris Paul's books to class.
Wow.
Okay.
And then this is another thing. Like I was telling Jay before we came back on there. One thing, I'm in a lot of chats with a lot of basketball people that played a lot of years that got some esteem to themselves. One thing you don't want to lose if you're Pat Bev is the grit and the keep it realness that you got about yourself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? People respect you for your work ethic, the way you went and got it. You know what I'm saying? Like
hustle.
Man, that ain't easy. And the common man can, in a sense, relate to you because you're not the guy that's 6'7", athletic, jumping from the free throw line and stuff like that. You do the dirty work, and it's understood. You're blue collar. When your basketball peers start talking about you, and lose respect for you, that's one thing you was scorned for life. He don't want. That's why he on there today with a different tone a little bit. You know,
Somebody
he's still
probably
on.
checked him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But he's still on the James Harden. So when you talk the way you talked about Chris Paul, and then you turn the page and talk about James Harden, should be able to get a super duper max. Everything you saying is null and void about Chris Paul because now you just talking out the side of your neck. None of it makes sense.
I agree with that part about Harden. It's like if I like you, you should get a max contract. If I got some kind of problem with you, you should be benched. You should be fired. You should be all this kind of
Jay,
stuff.
not even a max contract. He's saying a super max
I know.
contract.
He's saying $47.5 million a year.
Like, what are you
So
talking
a basketball
about, dude?
player, that don't make no sense right there.
No, why?
Well, Damian Lillard, bra on TV acting like his word law, speaking on private convos, preying on people's downfall. This is weird behavior.
Yeah.
So
Dame
he went
said
off on
that?
him. Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
Tell me, man.
Meaning Detroit Isaiah, not other
Zeke,
Isaiah.
the real
Zeke.
Zeke.
Yes. Yeah, that was corny.
It is.
So there's a lot. There are definitely, and of course, Matt Barnes.
And
Matt Barnes said, "Look, he said you're not that guy. Plain and simple. Chris Paul played terrible this series. His numbers are still better than your career numbers have ever been."
And that's what it is. Like, and listen, that's no cover up for Chris Paul. Like, he get all the slander. Like, dog, y'all got spanked at home, number 1 seed,
All that.
40 plus.
and he's
like,
not popular.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He's not
That's just
popular.
that's part of it. But outside of that, come on, man, you can't slander his career.
Don't
You know
go
what I mean?
there.
Saying the man a cone, like don't nobody want to play with him. Ain't nobody getting no sleep at night. That's cool. They ain't got to get no sleep at night. But guess what they doing? Going out there and get 60 plus victories. Your team, you crying on the thing
exit.
for a play-in game.
Yeah.
So to
Come on, man.
that point, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know where I heard this yesterday, but they said that one thing about Chris Paul, especially now, is that if you wrote a book on point guards, what he does would be all of it. Like
That's
it
it.
would be like because he plays it perfectly. He plays point guard perfectly. So perfectly that he can be kind of predictable at times,
Very true.
especially if you're Jayson Kidd and you understand how to play point guard.
Right.
He doesn't there's no variance in Chris Paul's game. He plays textbook point guard, which because of his lack of improvisation can become trouble when you have played him 4 out of 7 games, and that might explain why he's struggling in the playoffs.
Totally agree. Like that MVP should go to Jayson Kidd for that Game 7, the way they blasted him. The reason being,
Really?
I said it on our show yesterday, they didn't do what happens in the league every day. Savage, we talk about this all the time, whether it be NFL, NBA, whatever it may be, college, whatever it is. how they play the pick and roll. Like it's a copycat league. This was the first time in this game 7 that every time Devin Booker went pick and roll, they trapped him.
Yep.
Get the ball out of his hand.
They doubled him constantly.
And like every time. Like we're going to make you give it up and see if you can get it back. By that time, it's 3-4 seconds on the shot clock. Got to rush a shot. Chris Paul, every time they made him stay with the ball in his left. Don't let him go right. Simple.
Wow.
It was that simple. So they changed that.
So that, and one more quick thing, and then I'm going to turn it over. Because we talked about this guy earlier. What's the difference in the mindset between Karl Anthony Towns, who you, and DeAndre Ayton? Because I don't see much. Because I don't see a huge motor. I don't see a lot of want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes out of DeAndre Ayton, and that's bothersome to me. It dated back to Arizona.
I think with DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, he's a guy that when you look at him and Karl Anthony Towns, two different players, two different style of players. But when you start to talk about the motor, I think they're in different schemes and different styles of play where you're playing more of the pick and roll guy. Like you're almost like a plug guy. And this goes to your point about Chris Paul. Any big man that plays with Chris Paul is going to be a pick and roll guy. Like it's not going to be many opportunities for you to get the ball and go on the low block and say, go to work, show me what you can do. Even if you got it going, you still got to play. Looking back on his career, look at Tyson Chandler when he was in New Orleans. Look at David West, what he turned him into. And people were like, David West was an all-star, but a lot of it was less dribbles because a lot of pick and pop, give it to him, shot, one dribble, little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Blake, DeAndre Jordan. Like the list goes on and on for him. That's what he does because you don't feel comfortable as a coach taking the ball out of his hands because he's so cerebral in the game. He's a coach on the floor. It's like, I don't want to take it out of his hand.
Wow.
Chris Paul, let's go to DeAndre Ayton. Then what am I doing? What is Chris Paul doing? You know what I'm saying? Just standing playing a spot-up shooter? That ain't his strength. You know what I mean? I think that's where they fall different. And Karl Anthony Towns, being in Minnesota, was more of a guy that came in to be the face of the franchise. We're going to push it this way. This is where we're going. Got D'Angelo Russell out of there, did all of this. So you were the guy. Then he just transformed to this three-point shooter, which is I think okay, I don't like Karl Anthony Towns, but I'm not going to knock his game. He plays hard. He just plays the way they do now, more finesse than you would see a 6'10", 6'11" guy.
He plays soft.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For that size, he plays soft.
Yeah. You expect more of him being in the paint and getting more rebounds. And this is little stuff to ask of a guy that's bigger than everybody when you reach your hand up to get a rebound. So, you know what I mean? I think that's the difference. I do think Ayton has the motor. He's just in a bad situation to show that he got the motor.
And it was hard not to see him and Luka on the same floor knowing they came out of the same draft. Luka is on a totally
I mean, you look
level.
at the same thing. You can say the same thing with Trae Young.
Yes.
Trae Young could keep going in the playoffs in advance, and just not this year. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Barnes and these basketballs. He pulled another 5-star.
Yeah.
Julian Phillips. And also they end up getting they don't have a bunch of ratings on them, but they end up getting another commitment out of a New York kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zakai. Toby Awaka.
Yeah.
What is this team gonna be?
I like it. You practice that, big dog.
Hey,
getting that name right?
Yeah, I like it because guess what? Somebody said Nico. You know exactly what I was about to do. I'm not trying to do that. I ain't Nico. That's what I know. Man. Nico
You want to find Harry Carey trying to say Hideki Arabu from like 50? Hey, Rob, you'll find it.
Brett Favor.
There's a lot of them out there.
Brett Favor.
So
Honor Landry.
Vince
Young.
Yeah, that's how no.
When he announced him, he called him Honor Landry.
We
haven't heard that one in a while.
What was Vince doing?
Whose teacher is that? Hey, so I think Barnes doing a terrific job, man. But this goes back to when to me, okay, so a lot of people give him flack for not evolving and going to a different system, style of play, sticking with the same system that he has. One thing you cannot knock him on is being able to evolve in the game of recruiting. When he lost Lanier, Dez, Oliver, now Schwartz, he lost the core of his coaching staff. So now you ship them out and you bring new guys in and you got to recruit these younger guys in a different way. So you bring in a guy like Rod Clark. You bring in a guy like Gainey, a guy coming from grassroots programs who have relationships and know they understand to go get Ramon is an opportunity to go get Slay. You know what I'm saying? So I think they work that in the right way, and they build those relationships. And it doesn't hurt when you start to put guys in the league after one and dones or two and dones and things like that, and start to create All-Americans and, put the work ethic in it. So I think one thing about it also is the kids love it, the parents love it.
Okay.
So you kind of getting the best of both worlds with his coaching staff and him, his faith-based, the page he's turned in his career where he stands and he can walk in any mom's, grandma's house or whatever it may be and be like, hey, man, this is what we do. We're going to church on Sunday, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're spiritually based. And then you got on the opposite side.
His personality.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's totally different. So I think it's good and works for him.
Let me say this about it, too, because when it happened, Huntley Hatfield transferred out, and you go get a 5-star right behind him.
Yeah.
The portal is good.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yep.
But this is also like you can be replaced. Is it that in this situation when we look at Phillips and his commitment?
Yeah, I think so. I think you start to realize that as a player, and you start to realize that as a coach, from the coach aspect, you got to be able to get ahead of it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing as a player, you hate to say this, but players got to be aware too. What's going on in the recruiting market? Like I remember playing in my day, it was, I don't care who you going to get.
Yeah.
They ain't finna come here and get my time. You know what I'm saying? So, but now you got these guys that you get NILs and everything. So whoever you might go get Savage out a high school, and I got to be looking on my shoulder like, man, who they going to recruit this year, man?
Okay.
It's like, dang, they bringing this 5-star in here, and then I'm looking around at the roster like, what spot he gonna play? Are he playing my spot? Now I got something to think about. Do I get ahead of that curve? Am I running from it? That's just the day and age we live in now. So I think players got to be just as aware as the coaches do.
We'll finish the show, and get you.
We ain't finished the show.
Break.
We're going right over into the 10 o'clock hour.
That's fine. I mean, Bucks usually rolling in right at 10, so we can do 10:05.
Hell, I had to let him in the building yesterday.
That's our favorite thought, baby.
Yeah, just out there hanging around.
We'll finish the show on the other side. Titans have agreed with Traylon Burks. We'll tell you all about his fully guaranteed contract when we come back. Jay Martin, Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. J. Martin Ramon, 104.5 The Zone. I'd offer James Harden a, quote, super duper duper max. Who can guard James Harden? A team, not one player. That's what Patrick Beverly said this morning. Disagree, brother. A player can definitely guard James Harden in 2022.
And
2021, as a matter of fact.
And a little bit of 2020.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Like, the league has continued since he dominated you and when you played with him in Houston.
Right. Exactly. It's different now, man. And I don't see that's where the friend stuff gets in the way. And when you jump in this, man, you got to be able to keep a line of being yourself and still try to. I guess what he doing. I don't know what he doing. I don't know if that's keeping. Yeah, I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's keeping.
He's trying to get a job.
He see the numbers.
Yeah, that's silly.
The numbers is going up.
Yeah,
like I was listening to A-Rod talk this past weekend. He's speaking about, like, if you look at the scope of what the NBA can be, the worldwide side. He's like, that's the reason he bought the team. It's like, because you can mold basketball, and the fact that it's not the number one sport and it's global, though.
It is global.
You can grow it to a point to where you may end up seeing these NFL commentator, analyst numbers. I don't know if completely go to the NBA side, but if you got Brady getting $37 million, I mean, some point, some NBA analysts and color commentators probably going to get about 12. Pat Beverly type get about $2-3 million a year. Who knows?
He'll do fine. I mean, he also this morning slandered the Lakers.
He did?
So he said something else he knew was going to get there.
Yeah.
He said that's an asterisk championship in the bubble. Called it a bubble championship, and it doesn't count with the rest of. I tend to agree with a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Anthony Davis was actually healthy in the bubble.
Yeah, but then he's saying, like, so that means you discredit everything Miami did to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
and
just
then
think
he's
you gotta look at it
discrediting his guy James Harden. So everything James Harden, the numbers he was putting up in the bubble, it's fabricated too. Like he just talking, man. It's people like that, man, that just need to go away.
Pat Bev.
I think they got some insect spray somewhere, man. That you just ought to spray, and he ought to just raid him on right away.
They may just hire him before he leaves.
So where does Kendrick sit with you then?
K-Dot?
No, Perkins. K-Dot.
You know,
did you know he was 5'4"?
Nah, I knew he was little though.
I knew
some of his homeboys little. And he right around the same. So Kendrick, big
bunch of short people.
Dude, I knew he was short. I didn't know he was 5'4".
Yeah. What we doing?
I didn't know they little.
Everybody got short friends,
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But Big Perk. Big Perk is cool to me.
He's good on TV.
And there you go. You know what I mean? Big Perk is good. And I think the way Big Perk does it, he don't throw anybody under the bus. He speaks from his experience, and he speaks from knowing that he got an entertainment value to him as well. Pat Bev he went directly at someone.
Yeah.
Like that ain't what is that? That ain't nothing to me, man.
If you Chris Paul, where you at today with him? Shake it off?
Where I was yesterday, yeah. JJ Redick went at his neck early on Get Up. So I'm fine with how everybody else
it.
When at Pat Bell.
He did.
Yeah, straighten them out. Like, we're not gonna continue this from yesterday, dog. Like, you don't understand. You saying this about James Harden. The man don't deserve no Supermax. A max, okay. You know what I mean? But not Supermax, you're bonkers. And then I don't like how you try to twist it every time. If Ramon asks me something and say, "Hey man, let me give you an example. Say you run a franchise, and I ask Savage, what franchise you talking about?" Now you gotta tell me what franchise.
He did do that to Stephen A.
Yeah, you mean Miami franchise or the New York? Like, come on, dog.
Because he asked him which PG3 yesterday.
Yeah,
PG.
Yeah, and we talking about all of Paul George.
Yeah,
because the Paul George in Indiana was budding, and this Paul George to me is a top 10 player in the league without question. This Paul George cold-blooded. You talking about skill, less dribbles, getting the way you want to get to? Paul George cold-blooded, man. You just got to stay
until you get to the playoffs.
He had a bad bubble.
He's been bad his whole career. He's bad in his whole career.
It can still be true, huh?
I'm a Thunder fan. I saw it.
I think Paul George is a top 10 player.
Well, I don't disagree.
I don't know what he do.
I
think when you get to the playoffs, it's a team. Like everybody on that team got to be bad. Then you know what I'm saying. We can't discredit Chris Paul and not discredit Blake Griffin. You know what I'm saying?
I always thought Blake was overrated too.
I mean,
man, you ain't handsome.
this man here. What's wrong with you, dog?
You damn sure ain't cute.
You damn sure ain't cute.
Paul George is just a better Ryan Tannehill.
And there we go. And there we go. And there we go. There it is, y'all.
I'm telling you, let me end this with this one. Pat Bev is not the talking basketball circus. He may be to the fans or whatever it may be. Okay, but listen, he ain't. And one thing I'm gonna stand on for my life is being judged by my peers.
That's
what
true.
I want. Give me that all day 100%.
100%. He did say one thing to Stephen A. I was just like, oh. He told him, he was like, well, when he started speaking about Chris Paul and how he was a cone. He was like, well, ain't nobody going to tell you this, Stephen A., because you ain't in that circle. Like, is that conversation a player-to-player locker room conversation about CP3?
Well, I wouldn't go that far because then you start to do the but you didn't play the game, so you don't understand if we want to take it there. You know what I'm saying? That's where he started trying to charge up Stephen A. Like, I think his approach was to go through the ESPN wash, challenge their analysts that are on there, and he kind of went at Stephen A. And all I can say is what Jay said. He did a win horse too,
and that's what I'm saying. To Jay's point, like, well, he's about to get a contract.
Yeah, but I just
that's the way I looked at it.
I feel that, and I think we giving him too much credit too.
Okay,
I don't think he's that smart to say this is what I'm about to go do to go get this contract. I actually think he's being himself. I just think what he's saying is not thought out, and there's no facts behind it.
Okay.
To stand on, there's more hate coming from it than anything.
You talking about Pat Beverly or Buck Rising?
Oh, Buck got a good standard about himself. He got a better
got a good standard.
About I like Buck. That's my man.
That was just my way of mentioning he's next.
Buck is next.
I'll tell you what. If I don't see Will Bowling soon.
I didn't know he still worked.
We gonna have a problem.
I don't even know where he is. I know one thing. Wednesday, I'm throwing 70 off the mound. I'm throwing 70 off the mound.
Look, I set the standard. The video is out there of mine. Mine was a strike.
I'm coming down. Now you're gonna hear the glove pop when I come.
There's certain ways to fabricate that.
Yeah, don't please. I knew it was coming. Please don't.
Straight shooter out here.
I won't miss.
Look at Jay.
I won't miss.
Well, Jay been saying nut tap all day. We good.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Tomorrow we do another show. Tomorrow we're going to have guests.
What's going on here?
We're going to talk for 4 hours about something.
Great conversation with Phillip Fulmer.
That was pretty sad. Pretty sad. Mm-hmm.
We're going to run out of here, just like Ramon was running forever. I want to see if we can get through this music and just drive Schaefer insane. Since he sniped you earlier.
He did. And remember.
You're smart, Schaefer. You know what to do right here.
Your mic is always hot.
Oh, you didn't do it. You should have sniped him before.
Shut up.
What happened?